This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stops at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
A beautiful evening here in Moscow, Idaho. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have made the 2-hour trip down to face off against the WSU Cougars on Friday Night Hockey. I'm Connor Simmons, joining the booth with my partner in crime, Zach McFarlane, with a beautiful matchup. The weather's finally better, but also a very good matchup we have in store with a somewhat meaningless game, a game right before senior night. Zach, how are we feeling tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since this team has seen Gonzaga. Back they played in October. Obviously, you had the first game super close, 1-goal game, and then Carlson puts home an empty net hat-trick goal to kind of seal things with no time left. And then the next day, Van Rayner goes and scores 6 goals, and I think it was 10 goals for the Cougars. They've been pretty incredible against Gonzaga, and we'll see what this has in store. Obviously, like you said, kind of a meaningless game a little bit, just to kind of get on the ice in the spring. And this is just the final series for some of these guys on both teams. Obviously, guys like Sam Hembry playing their final series here in the Cougar sweaters. It should be interesting, but I imagine we'll get a lot of showing from those guys who are on their final tour.
Well, no doubt about it. We got about 4 seniors: Colin Keenan, Sam Hembry, Smuley Sahoven, and Luke Jurgensen. Those are the big 4 guys that we're going to be keying all in this weekend for these. This is potentially the last time playing hockey overall. So just overall congratulations to them for an amazing career by every single one of them, regardless of how different their path was to get here. But playing for the Cougs, playing in this crimson and kind of gray and white outfits right now is just a blessing for all of them. And it's a blessing for us to be able to call this game like that. But coming into this game, we got the Bulldogs versus the Cougs. You said a 1-score game and then a complete blowout game where we had one player in Van Rayner score 6 goals, a double hat trick. There's a lot of question marks in this game because that final game that me and Kate were on the call for, I remember it was almost like half the Gonzaga team quit, and it was a home game technically for the Bulldogs. It was a weird, you had different goalies coming out, half the roster didn't come back out after a second period break. Just a lot of question marks with this Gonzaga Bulldog team. It's hard to find stats. They're obviously not the greatest team in this division, but overall, just the Cougs, it can always be a close game with them. I want to say the same thing when it happens to Idaho.
The Cougars are very inconsistent when they play, and I mean, you look at their last game 3 weeks ago, they beat Idaho 10-4, but again, the series before that, they beat Idaho twice by 1 goal, where they know that they have Idaho's number. They know that they can beat them by a lot. They've done it before. Obviously, they won 10-4. And so the Cougs always on night 1 is a mystery. You kind of know what to expect in game 2. They've gotten their feet under them and everything. They're getting their bearings. But in game 1, it's just always a mystery. How are they going to come out? Are they going to be coming out sloppy, slow, second to the puck? We will see. Gonzaga's got to be hungry just for a win. They don't have a lot of them on the season. And again, this is all for the spring. This doesn't even really go on the record books. Why not go and put your heart out there and just try? And they would love nothing more than to come all the way here and beat the Cougs.
Well, it's good scheduling right there by putting senior night on the second game of the weekend, too, like you just brought up. There's a big question mark with the Cougs in that first game. Regardless if it's a win or a loss, it seems like a close game. But in that second blowout game, luckily, it is senior night. So we're going to get to the national anthem. Is about to get underway. Me and Zach will be right back. Stay tuned for KUGR Hockey, about to start pretty soon. As puck drop is about to get underway for this first period, Zach, let's talk about expectations for this game. What are your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it and think the Cougs got this, right? They got it both games. They could probably put up 20 goals combined, if they're really playing at their best. But that's the thing about the Cougars is they never really play to their full potential. Or when they do, it's rare. It just doesn't happen very often. They're a very inconsistent team, but they can come to play, and they can play at anybody's level in their division respectively. And so when you play a team like Gonzaga, who is just a struggling program, you got to think, hey, Cougs are probably going to win by a good amount of goals. That's what I would expect, but I'd also expect the Bulldogs to come out here and give them a good hard push to start the game.
With puck drop about to get underway, the face-off is won by the Bulldogs. And Zach, my question for you is, we're later in the season, not a lot of meaningful games, I guess, with these weekend games. As Gonzaga rips one immediately, Lexi Cool gets a good save. Do you think you're going to play more of the young guys or your seniors later in these weekends if you're Coach Lipinacci?
I think you play, obviously all your seniors, no matter what. I think, again, in meaningless games where you're just trying to get them ice time, you play them as much as possible. But then you also look at your young guys who are trying to get that spot for next year. I think that's important too. This is an important time for them to show out and try and get that spot going into next season.
A weird in-between for Coach Lipinacci and the Cougs as Luke Jurgensen's finally able to get it out for the Cougs. He goes to send it to Cole Carlson. He just can't get it on his stick. Might have been a goal right there. Back up to the point, making a man miss is Ethan Maurer. He's been pretty strong since the playoffs have ended for the Cougs. Made a lot of significant plays so far for them. A bad pass leads to the Bulldogs getting possession, and they were holding it in there while we were talking about Coach Lipinacci's potential coach decisions with the young guys or playing the seniors. The Bulldogs were passing back and forth and had a couple shots on Alexi Cool, but shuts both of them down. With 19 minutes left in this first period, 0-0 game, Alexi Cool with 3 stops. Lex Ballard's going to be the man on retreat to grab it from Alexi Cool. Fast start for the Bulldogs. Looking to get something going is Lex Ballard, one of the faster guys on this ice. He gives it up to his man, his teammate David Bushkin. Lex Ballard rips one on net into the chest of the Bulldogs goaltender right there.
Yeah, and Charlie Hinch, not someone we saw back in October of 2025. We actually saw Clodier instead. So it should be interesting to see what Hinch brings to the table. Really kind of an anomaly coming into this game, and we'll see if he can stand strong like Cool has so far.
Well, we have seen multiple different players playing for the Bulldogs. Like we've said, they played early on in the season. These are two completely different teams when they first played, Zach. Keeping it in the zone. What a great play that was by Van Rayner. Last time he was out versus the Bulldogs, he got 6 goals as we brought up. He tries to get it to his man, David Bushkin, 3rd on the team in points as a freshman. Had a great interview on the Up All Night Cable 8 show. That was pretty good. He's a pretty good talker, as the comm major must say. David Bushkin gets it back to his man, Van Rayner. Rayner makes 3 guys miss all the way to Lucas Robinson at the point. Sends it down low to no man's land. Stolen away. Can it clear all the way out? David Bushkin and Reed Mullen on the pinch together. Bushkin all by himself at center ice, rips one. Good save right there. Bushkin gets his own rebound, looking like Flight reacts. Now at the point, Lucas Robinson rips it again. Hits a Bulldog defender. Good job getting in the way right there. Now retreating. It's going to be number 9. He gets shoved down to the ice. Clearing it all the way back out. Is it going to be on net? Are they going to call off icing? So Lexi Cool touches it as they did call off icing. Reed Mullen now. Mullen almost gets it sticked away from him. All the way to his best friend, Lucas Robinson. Making a man miss. No, stolen away by the Bulldogs. Cleared away. Number 22. And the Bulldogs have to retreat. That's going to be Nico Umale, who gets it stolen from him. Bringing it all by himself, Sentenbury. Makes a man, does a little pirouette. One-timer at the point. Lexi Cool almost gets a glove on it. Behind the net of his own net. A guy hits a tumble. The puck is lost. Was he sitting on it? I think he was. Lucas Robinson battling. 2 Bulldogs versus 1 Coug. The Bulldogs come out on top. Trying to go back and forth. It's now on the net. A lot of mix-up happening right now behind the net. Alexi Cool, don't know if he knows what's happening. Looking to go back to his front hand. Stopped and saved. Alexi Cool standing strong there once again, but the Bulldogs keeping it in the zone. Almost another shot right there. A couple Bulldogs taking a tumble. We have a guy that is injured on ice as it hits them. Nothing is called there, and finally the ref blows it.
Yeah, it's Chen Yu Sun. He's down. He got kind of rammed into the boards and never quite got back up. But they were absolutely hemming the Cougs into their own zone right there, creating chances. I mean, you had Mason Kochton, who bounced it off the back of the net like he was Sidney Crosby out
Yes.
there, really trying to just get away and escape, and it was working. They were forechecking hard, although I don't know how long they're going to last. You look at the benches, and you've got 7 skaters that aren't on the ice for the Bulldogs, and then you look at the Cougs and they have a full bench. So
Yes.
I think eventually, even if Gonzaga does come out here, maybe even score the first goal, I just don't see a way they don't run out of gas.
The Bulldogs are firing on a lot of cylinders right now. They're moving pretty fast. Let's see if Zach's intuition comes true. We'll be back with that in about 30 minutes, potentially in the second period. Bulldogs looking to retreat after Janu was able to get up. He is one of the better players on this Bulldog team. Led them in points the past 2 seasons now. So we hope he is okay in a game, like we said, that's not too much. You don't want your players getting hurt no matter what team you're cheering for. Matthew Taylor on the forecheck looks to send a guy into the boards. All the way out to the senior, Colin Keenan. He can have a senior night tomorrow. He's looking to get as much playing time as possible. Back on the forecheck, Matthew Taylor lays the guy into the boards once again, all the way out to his man, McKay. McKay getting some minutes in there. Hasn't had a lot throughout the season. Swung out to number 4. It's going to be cleared away as the Bulldogs were able to get a good tip on it right there. Landon Holtman just couldn't get his stick on it. Hembry brings it back into the zone all the way out. Dropped in as subs are being officially made right now. Not a lot of setup going for the Cougs offensively right now. It looks like Gonzaga's got more, but here comes Van Rayner looking for his man to Cole Carlson on front of the net. Good stick right there, man. Just a diving save by number 97, Caden Claudier. Might have saved a goal right there.
No doubt about it. He got a stick on it, and Cole Carlson's up roofing that thing all the way into the mesh. And a great A chance. Van Rayner drops off. It's a little behind Cole, but he's one of those guys that can make that adjustment quickly and try and get a good shot off. But again, right there, Clodier's stick gets in the way, keeps this at 0-0.
I want to say the Bulldogs have won almost every face-off here in this game, at least in the Cougs zone. Lex Bauer gets a steal all by himself. Backhand. Good save right there. He sprawls out on it. What a hinge, man.
This is that offense you were just talking about that really wasn't there. They're starting to get their bearings a little bit. They're starting to pick it up. They're getting faster in the offensive zone, and they're creating more chances, and we'll see if that continues or if it'll be back and forth. You know, Gonzaga was just doing the same thing a couple minutes ago. We'll see where this game goes.
Carlson looking to rip it. It's tipped away as it hits 2 Bulldogs skips all the way down to his man, number 27, rips it on Lexi Cool into his chest. A good save right there, an easy one at that. Lex Bauer looks for a man. All the way to Van Rayner. They didn't have a little miscommunication moment right there. 4-on-2 moment, tries to clear it out. Lex Bauer gets a skate on it. A shot just high and wide. Could have beat Alexi Cool right there. Swung all the way out. Cole Carlson going against Bang right now. Carlson gets a steal. Might be a 2-on-1 with Luke Jurgensen. All the way to Luke, but another good stick right there as the puck trickles and bounces away into the Bulldogs bench. 2-on-1 opportunity right there, but again, Bulldogs getting a last-second stick in there.
Anything you can do to break up the play, buy your goalie some time, or just completely interrupt, make the play broken, that is huge. And the Bulldogs have done just that so far. Over 5 minutes into this game, both teams have had their kind of good, solid shots on goal, good chances, but nothing too crazy.
Lucas rips one just wide. Left hinge doesn't touch that. Cougs will look to retreat. 14 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first period. Still 2 goose eggs on the score sheet. Keegan Lucas, the defenseman, bringing up all by himself. He's got David Bushkin on his left. He rips it again into the chest of Hinch, and it just swallows it whole right there.
Yeah, and Hinch has looked pretty strong. I mean, he hasn't, I wouldn't say he's faced too many insane, really pick spot shots per se, but he's looked good enough. Alexi Cool has also looked solid on his end. This could be a goaltending battle. I wouldn't be surprised, but again, when you have the lack of depth that the Bulldogs have, I think everyone on the ice is going to run out of gas.
Trying to get it to his man out in front was Max Lazaro, but just missed on the pass right there. Doesn't get it to David Bushkin. Looking to push a pass just out of reach. Might beat that man is number 2 of the Bulldogs. Keeping it going, Max Lazaro just clears away, and the Bulldogs are going to have to retreat and regroup. But less than 14 minutes left in this first period. Oatman clears it to nobody. Sam Hembry retreats. A lot of defensemen of the Cougs bring it into the zone. We've seen about 3 times now. It's either Sam Hembry, Lex Ballard, or even Keegan Lucas. Keeping it with Smooth Sahoven and all the way to Sam Hembry. A little senior action, but a little miscommunication right there by the unks, you guess you could say, of this team. Lazaro battling. A ref slammed against the boards right there as Lazaro lays off. Bulldogs looking to retreat as the Cougs make some subs. Bang, brings it in, stolen away right there. A number 18, Brandon Smith, onto the net of Hinch as he doesn't know what to do with it. A little miscommunication potentially with his defender. That could have been a bad moment as he just kind of let it dribble right there. Neko Umale making a couple guys miss. Keeping possession of the puck, looking to go behind the net of Hinch. Gets it ripped away from him. All the way out at the point, Lucas Robinson. Shot on net. Almost beats the man. Evan King trying to get it back and forth. Reed Mullen now. Reed Mullen gets it to Evan King. King back and forth with his man Nika Umile. Now on the left side, close face-off circle. Evan King's dribbling the puck. Out to the point to Reed Mullen. Reed Mullen at the point all by himself. Rips one on net. Almost a big tipper moment as Brandon Smith tried to get a stick in there, but Hinch sees it well and stops this puck immediately.
Stops it right away, indeed. Hangs on to it again. Kind of just over 7 minutes into this game. Cougars, again, trying to get some offense going. They're holding possession of the puck in the zone pretty well, but they're really not taking that great of shots, at least in that possession specifically. There really wasn't a lot of chances, a lot of more of battle for it in the corners and whatnot, and they're winning that, but they just need to get a little bit movement going so they can create the lanes.
Face-off again won by the Bulldogs. Cougs haven't won a face-off in the Bulldogs zone yet, which could be a deciding factor when looking at the shot department so far in this game. You get slammed right there was Landon Holtman. Gets up like nothing happened and picks his stick up. Gets right back in the play. Good job by Landon Holtman. McKay sends it back to his man, Lex Ballard, the defenseman. Gets it stolen. No, he can't keep it in the zone. He takes a tumble. We have a 3-on-1 for the Bulldogs. Bowers all by himself to his man on the net. Back and forth. And they shoot and score. What a play by the Bulldogs. Bowers gets it to go.
Yeah, Lex Ballard took a tumble, kind of lost the puck right in his skates. That creates a 3-on-1. Realistically, though, their third guy was kind of so far off to the right of the board, so a 2-on-1, but that's two of your best guys, and they get and they connect, and that's a wide open net. Really nothing you can do if you're Alexi Cool. Maybe hope for a defensive breakup or, again, like a Braden Holtby-style save, but really not much you could do there. And again, look at the Bulldogs on the board first. Cougars kind of caught off guard with that, but can they keep up the momentum? They have a very short bench. It should be interesting.
Well, we talked about after number 19, Colton Bowers gets the goal. He had quite literally an empty net. All he had to do was tap the puck with his stick, and that puck was going in regardless. You just, again, putting your goalie in those situations. Obviously, with Lex Ballard taking a tumble right there, that takes the defenseman out of the equation, and they already have all the momentum. 3-on-1, you said it was basically 2-on-1 because it was. But a great overall setup and a great play right now from Gonzaga as they have the first goal of this game with 12 minutes left in this first period. A goose egg for the Cougs, 1-0 for the Bulldogs after the Bowers goal. Cleared away all the way to the man, Colin Keenan. Oatman on the forecheck right there. Luke Jerkinson trying to keep it in the zone. No, it's going to have to retouch as he does retouch. Keegan Lucas, the defenseman, pushing up right now. Cole Carlson has to take a defender kind of seat right now as he's able to get the puck right now at the point. Cole Carlson sends it down low, maybe trying to get a tip. Kind of a weaker pass or shot at that. Cleared away once again, and it should be icing as Keegan Lucas touches it, and we're heading right back down to the zone. But again, faceoffs haven't been won on this side of the ice yet, Zach.
No, faceoffs are a huge part of the game. That's how you get possession right away to start the play, and especially on an icing where the Bulldogs might have the same line out there. They might be tired. So you just have to win the draw here and create something. Get it back to Robinson, 9 points on the year, 9 assists. You just got to get it back to him, allow him to make a play.
Mullen shoots and he scores. Was it Reed Mullen or was there a tip? As we have a tied hockey game, it happened so fast.
And one of the defensemen that does not score very often, Reed Mullen, gets on the board. I was on the call for 2 of his goals last year. It was kind of in a short stint. He doesn't score very much, but when it does, that's how you know you're getting offense from everyone in Pullman, and that's what you want in a hockey team is depth scoring.
Well, Zach, I want to say you called it out. A faceoff wins the games. They won that faceoff. Didn't get out to the defender you said in Lucas Robinson, but they did get it out to defender and Reed Mullen, and we have a tied hockey game now. And I want to say that wasn't because Charlie Hinch couldn't. I want to say it's because he couldn't see the puck because it didn't look like that hard of a shot from the point. Yes, obviously it got there, and it was, I want to say, the waist level of Charlie Hinch. But I want to say he didn't see it because it seemed like it would have been an easier save.
Yeah, just a seeing eye shot for sure. I think Reed Mullen kind of read, maybe he couldn't quite see short side, and that's where it beats him.
With about 10 minutes and 50 seconds left in this first period, the Cougs respond almost immediately to the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs are still playing fast as Bowers get into his man. Once again, we have a 2-on-1 with the Bowers on the chance, but good job right there as Reed Mullen, who just got a goal, makes a defensive play right there and doesn't allow Bowers to get number 2.
What a shift for Reed Mullen. That was unbelievable. As he limps off to the ice, or to the bench, I beg your pardon, we hope he's okay, but that's a great block by him to break that up.
Lex Ballard checks in for Reed Mullen after he limps off, like you just said. Bringing it in once again as the Bulldogs trying to keep it a go, but Lex Ballard's able to fight this man off. Maybe some aggression after he might have been the reason for that first goal. Brandon Smith tips it into Bulldog zone, going to be on the forecheck now. We're halfway through this fast-moving first period. Not a lot of mistakes so far, Zach.
Yeah, and on top of that, no penalties.
Brandon Smith looking for an opening. Doesn't even hit the net. Ethan Maurer just can't keep it in the zone. Maurer gets it to his man Lex Ballard. Back and forth the defensemen go. Good stick work by Ethan Maurer. Keeping it in the zone, though, is Powers. Good job right there is Gillick. Going to have to regroup with the Bulldogs. Cleared high and into Cougar zone. Lex Ballard looking to retouch behind the net. Clears it back in. Evan King might have tipped it right there. Cleared back in. Lex Ballard's going to have to regroup. A lot of deja vu happening right now. Ballard off the boards to Brandon Smith. Just can't get his stick on it. He gets it to his man Powers. Swung all the way up to 96 of the Bulldogs. He brings in the defenseman, moving pretty fast. Lex Ballard gets it once again. Lex Ballard's all over this puck right now on his shift. Evan King passes it to nobody. Maybe thought the Bulldog was his teammate right there in that situation. The ref takes a shot. Yeah, he's limping.
Yeah, that puck was right off the boards, right into the ankle area.
That hurt
me. The ref, he is hurting. We hope he's all right, but that linesman is that's brutal.
King gets the rebound off the Keegan Lucas missed pass, and Hinch is going to be the man to touch up as the ref seems to be skating it off right now.
Yeah, that was an absolute dumping attempt that was right at his foot, and it probably hits him where there's no padding. Obviously, referees don't really have any padding. They're not in the game. They're not focused on getting shot at, and so that's brutal.
Good steal right there. The faceoff was won by the Cougs, but that's something you see in the NHL Chell, the video game. Shot just wide of the glove of Lexi Cool. Here comes Cole Carlson, but the faceoff was won by the Cougs, but a Bulldog ended up with it. Jurgensen on the drop-off. Back to Cole Carlson. Going behind the net, trying to do a wraparound, Connor McDavid style, but the Bulldogs shut it down almost immediately. 3-on-2 break. Good passing right now. Sun looking to rip it. Good job getting in front of that with Sam Hembry. Bulldogs get the regroup, though. Taking a hit. Might get to his man. It's Luke Jurgensen and Cole Carlson on the 2v1 once again. Carlson rips it. Hits the pad, almost the shoulder of Hinch right there. Carlson with a good fast wrist shot. Almost trying to get it once again. Carlson regroups with the puck behind the net. Try to get to Van Rayner. Rayner on the forecheck. Rayner's able to steer it away. Almost gets it to Cole Carlson. Hembry sends it back behind the net of Hinch. Carlson gets it to his other captain, teammate Van Rayner, and it is finally cleared and dumped away. It's not going to be icing. Icing's going to be waved off as a good, slow puck Keegan Lucas has to grab, and the Bulldogs are able to make saves. That's something you brought up, Zach. They looked pretty tired right there as Luke Jurgensen rips it. Might have gone off the face mask of Hinch right there. Doesn't even react. Jurgensen pushed off the puck. Cole Carlson now looking for a guy. Does a pirouette. Sticked away by Sun. Good job right there. Gets it to his man. Jurgensen lays the body down. Colin Keenan. Good job by getting in the way of that one, but it's cleared away. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first period. 1-1 hockey game. Zach brought it up early in this first period. It seems like the Bulldogs are starting to slow down just a little bit right now.
Yeah, and the Cougars are getting definitely more offensive looks. They're spending more time in the offensive zone, which is exactly where you want to be, but they really haven't had any crazy grade A chances, and even the goal, like you mentioned, really wasn't that crazy of a shot from Reed Mullen, but maybe he was just able to find a spot and pick it, and he did, and this game's tied, but they need to create a little bit more chances, some more odd man rushes. I mean, the Bulldogs have already had a couple themselves.
No doubt about it. Not a lot of mistakes on the penalty market, but there has been multiple 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s for both teams, so it just makes you question the defensive side and defensive effort from the Bulldogs and Cougars. David Bushkin behind the net of Hinch. Looking for his man. Gets it all the way out to Colin Keenan at the point. It looks to rip it off the skate of the man. I believe that's Powers. Powers now shoulder pressing Colin Keenan. Bringing in the zone. He's 1v4, and Colin Powers going all by himself. Good job right there. He's still battling, but Colin Keenan's able to get off of it. What a shift right there. Another one rips it on net. Alexi Cool, the rebound, sticked away. Bulldogs still have it. Back to his man. Another shot. One-timer. Back in front. Another shot. Saved away. Colin Keenan just saved a goal. Another shot. Doesn't hit Alexi Cool that time. Bang. Sends it around the boards. No, gets it to his man Bowers. Bowers, slow trickling shot. Another shot. Good save. Alexi Cool ricochets. Gets that one. 2 saves with, oh my goodness, in 1 second. At the point, rips it on net again. Alexi Cool is able to stop this one. And the chaos has finally ended.
That was a crazy sequence. The Cougars under immediate fire right there, just nonstop. One thing that cannot happen if you're the Cougs, Bowers wins a battle against 3 or 4 Cougars at the top of the paint, and then he's able to find another man on his line, and Chen Yu-sun to put it on goal. And then he goes for a pass, and a wide open chance is stopped by Colin Keenan. That's an incredible effort by him, and just you got to wonder how that doesn't go in.
The chaos finally might be over if the Cougs are able to get this out, as Landon Holman does get it out. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs have to regroup. But going back, Alexi Cool made about 6 or 7 good saves right there as they're bringing it in once again. Drops it off to his man, Sun. Rips one high, but Alexi Cool flashes some leather right there as I can smell it. Man, oh man, what a save by Alexi Cool. And now instead of 6 or 7 saves, he made 7 or 8 saves right there. But a key moment we got to bring up is Colin Keenan saved a goal. Alexi Cool was completely out of position, and Colin Keenan was the only man to stop that goal from going in. It was practically an empty net, but the man, Colin Keenan, who's got his great senior night tomorrow night, saves a goal and keeps it 1-1.
You got to help your goalie out in any way you can. If you can't break up the pass, save the shot. If he's out of position, that's exactly what Colin Keenan did right there. Kind of just knelt down right in the crease and just said, hey, this one's not going to go. And he blocked it away. It was an incredible effort from Keenan.
Well, something we have seen from the Cougs is these top 2 lines with Lex Ballard, Cole Carlson, all those kind of big names. Players on the team have been dominant on the O-zone time for the Cougs. Not a lot spent in the defensive zone. 5 minutes left in this first period. 1-1 hockey game. Lex Ballard looking to get to his man. Clears it all the way to the center ice of Van Rayner. With Luke Jurgensen on his right. He gets it to him. Drops it off to Van Rayner. Luke Jurgensen takes a hit right there. And it's cleared around the boards. The man to touch up is Keegan Lucas outside of the zone, though. Jurgensen gets up. That's what hockey players do. Jurgensen sends it back to his guy, Ethan Maurer. Off his, I want to say skate right there. Just a little misinput and a little miscommunication right there on that pass. Good forecheck by Ethan Maurer, or by Luke Jurgensen. My apologies. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first period. 1-1 game. Sends it to center ice in front of the net. Alexi Cool. Back and forth. Again, going back and forth. Almost had opportunity, but Sun now with the puck. Cleared away. Jurgensen can't get on his stick. Sun finds himself a little bouncing puck right now. Zamboni's going to have some work to do at the end of this first period. We're seeing a lot of bouncing puck right now, Zach.
No kidding, and a good defensive back check play by Van Rayner, able to break up that pass, and that would have been a grade A chance, and it's a good play by him just on a simple back check to just break it up with a stick.
And no icing was called as he believed it was tipped, but Nika Umale just couldn't find the puck right there and get saved. Evan King has to regroup with his squad. Keegan Lucas at center ice tries to send it into the zone. Brandon Smith does tip it in for him. Bang, going back and forth, sends it to center ice, tipped away. Good job right there. Evan King able to get the rebound after Brandon Smith. Great forecheck. Sends it out to a man in front, maybe to go back in, back to the forehand. Can't see really what's happening as there's a cluster in front of the net. Evan King tries to get a one-timer. Just couldn't get enough on that shot. Cleared all the way to Keegan Lucas at the zone. Keeping it in. Hits a Bulldog right in the chest. That was Sun taking some shots today. Neko Umale gets it out to Brandon Smith. Going back and forth. Hembry, the senior, at the blue line. Sends it down low. Neko Umale behind the net of the Bulldogs. Back and forth. Sam Hembry just can't get a tip, and he is moving. Keegan Lucas just chops it away. That would be a penalty in the NHL. Should have been a penalty in this, but not in this league, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Keegan Lucas. I mean, obviously you got Kochton going down. He's racing for it, and again, Hembry is not necessarily speedy like Lex Ballard or Keegan Lucas on the back end. He's a little more focused on kind of the intelligence of the game, and he uses everything else that he can. And so you're going to get Sam Hembry beat right there, but luckily Keegan Lucas comes back, makes the play, and slaps it. Really, he just slapped it right over the glass, way out of play.
Well, that's using the rules at your advantage right there, knowing you can do that. And Kochton was moving. He was moving really fast. Keeping it in the zone, Smoothing Sahoven, and good job right there. Gets all the way out. Max Lazaro tries to find a man out in front. Had him, just couldn't get it in time. Reed Mullen has a goal in this game. Looking for number 2 out in front. Might have hit a man, a Coug or a Bulldog. We'll never know. David Bushkin tries to get a behind-the-back pass to Max Lazaro right there. Doesn't get through. Cleared all the way down. Should be an icing. So Lucas Robinson touches it up. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in this first period. 1-1 hockey game.
The penalty sheet is clean. That's what surprised me most about this game.
Yes.
It got really chippy in the last series with these two teams. But, when you're Gonzaga, you really can't afford to take a penalty. That's one of your guys that you can't come off the ice. I mean, you only got 7 people on the bench right now, and then 8, including a backup goaltender. You just need as many guys as you can get out there. And for the Cougs, I mean, they've been pretty undisciplined in the past, but I would say this year, especially of all years, has been really good for them, just leaning down their penalty minutes that they've been getting.
No doubt about it. With Evan King fighting against 2 Bulldogs, trying to get it on his stick. The man out in front is Matthew Taylor. He's finally able to get some runs in with the season ending. Reed Mullen battling against the guy. He's going to win this battle right now. less than 2 minutes in this game. Again, the forecheck in the Cougar zone by the Bulldogs has been immaculate so far this game. They've done a really good job of keeping it in the Coug zone. That's a lot of opportunities where Lexi Cool or even like a defender has to make a great play. Matthew Taylor slammed against the boards by Bang. Cleared all the way down. We have Centerbury. Center ice, drops off to a man, 27, rips it. Good save by Alexi Cool right there. Again, this is what we talked about, the passing and just keeping it in the zone by the Bulldogs. Just miscommunication. Bulldogs making a lot of guys miss, going back and forth. The stick movement right there by Bowers was immaculate. Yang, the defenseman, short defenseman, tries to do a wraparound, shut down by the other number 9 of the Cougs, Lucas Robinson. Cleared down. Here comes Matthew Taylor. 2v2, Whitney Umile. Matthew Taylor sends it to nobody right there. A minute left, 60 seconds. All the way up to Sun. No, he doesn't get it to Sun. A little offside, just a little late. Thought he was going to give it to him. That's why we thought it was going to happen. Is offsides is not going to be the call as the official doesn't have his hand in the air. Matthew Taylor bringing it up ice once again. Has Evan King right behind him. Might look to drop it. A guy takes a tumble. Sends it out in front. Hits the stick of Hinch. Lex Ballard now. Going behind the net of Hinch. Ballard going back and forth. Tries to do a wraparound. Shut down immediately. Wrist shot. Good save. Padded save by Hinch again right there. 30 seconds left on the forecheck. Is that Cole Carlson? Hits a man into the boards, and they both fall right there. All the way out to Powers. Makes a guy missed. He went 1-on-4 to almost have a goal, the second goal of this game for the Bulldogs. Looking to get something to go. What a tipped flip shot right there by Cole Carlson. He rips one. Hits the mask of Hinch. Man, that hurt me. Cole Carlson looking to do some more okey-dokes. Tries to get to Luke Jerkins out in front. Rips it. Wide left. 4 seconds left. Out in front once again. And it's cleared away. Another shot by Luke Jerkins, and they get in front of it. Couple Bulldogs take a tumble, and they're able to survive that sequence by the Cougs as Cole Carlson's trying to get on ESPN Top 10 with those moves.
No doubt about it. And Gonzaga, obviously, you still got 2 more periods to go. But Gonzaga has kept up the pace that they started with. And again, with not a lot of substitutes on their bench, that is huge for them just to be able to keep up the pace with the Cougs. Even if this were still a game that they were losing, if it's a 1-goal game, that's important. They keep the energy up, and that's why this game is tied right now. Big opportunity right at the end of the period for the Cougars. But just before that, more stuff. Good magical movements from guys like Bowers and Chen Yu Sun. Their big guys are keeping them in this game, creating chances, dancing around some of the Cougar defensemen. They have shown that they should be in this game, and they are, and it's 1-1 going into period 2. It should be an exciting one if they keep playing like this.
No doubt about it, and another thing that the Zags are doing really good, keeping it in the Cougar zone, and they're getting set up really fast. I don't think the Cougs expected that, as there is just a lot of miscommunication, or oh, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be here, as the Cougs have been a little flustered in their own zone sometimes. But if you are the Bulldogs, you brought up multiple times, with the bench being so short and so little, and compared to the other side of the Cougs having a whole full-man roster, it's a situation of you have to be able to at least win the first 10 minutes. Your energy is going to get you maybe through those first 5 minutes, but the last 10 minutes is where you got to really dig in, because you're not going to be you're going to be tired. You're not going to have that energy like some of the Cougs do on that fourth line and stuff like that. So with that being said, it's a 1-1 hockey game. We'll be back with you guys for the second period. 14 minutes until puck drop for the second period. I'm Connor Simmons, joined with my partner in crime, Zach McFarlane. Stay tuned for KOGR Hockey.
Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth, Cole Carlson, all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores!
Beautiful
what a snipe.
shot. Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand dangles, shot, he scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only one.
We will try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman, stops and sharks, puts it on goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman, 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rayner pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rayner as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rayner doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rayner again, makes a move. Rayner drives it towards the net. Agafladier, top right, bang! My, oh my! Van Rayner has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front to Kings Kelly. Nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Lazaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rayner. One-timer, Lazaro shoots and scores! My, oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, score! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson. Carlson dropping it off Lazaro. A little crisscross. Lazaro, a shot. He scores! Max Lazaro, top shelf yet again. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth, Cole Carlson, all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores!
Beautiful
What a snipe.
shot. Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand dangles, shot, he scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
We will try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman. He stops in sharps, puts the shot and goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman. 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rainer pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rainer as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rainer doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rainer again, makes a move. Rainer drives it towards the net. Agafladier, top right, bang! My, oh my, Van Rainer has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front of Kings Kelly, nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Lazaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rainer. One-timer, Lazaro shoots it, scores! My, oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, score! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson. Carlson dropping it off Lazaro. A little crisscross. Lazaro a shot. He scores! Max Lazaro, top shelf yet again. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole Carlson all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores!
Beautiful
What a snipe.
shot. Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand, dangles, shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
You are listening to a KUGR sports production.
Another rushing touchdown for what might be the best rushing quarterback in all of college football right now.
Your eyes and ears for every WSU sporting event.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Listen live to games on YouTube at KUGR Sports.
Underneath it, Johnstone makes the grab and wins the game. Washington State wins it 7-5. Logan Johnstone makes the snag.
And now, here are your hosts.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
Back in the Palouse at the Idaho rink. It is Gonzaga obviously visiting the Cougars, and this is a 1-1 tie. If the first period was interesting, and like we had said, we weren't confident in what the Cougars were going to look like. We didn't know. We had expectations, but what are you going to do? It's game one of a series. They never come out necessarily and come out to expectations. They either exceed them big time or they're a lot below them. So would you say in this game that Gonzaga is playing up to the Cougars level, or if the Cougars are playing down to the Gonzaga level?
It's almost so hard to say. I want to say both, Zach. I truly do want to say both because obviously, like I want to say, I brought it up in the first period. These are two separate teams than what the last time we saw and the last time they saw each other. So keeping that in mind, there's new plays, there's new schemes, there's potential new players playing. We have a new goalie we haven't seen since we've been in college. So, I mean, there's a lot of just newness so far, a lot of question marks like we brought up. So maybe that first period was just a bunch of, at least the Cougs come out a little bit slower on the most of the time. So maybe it was just a feel-out period. So maybe the Cougs come out just striking on all cylinders in the second period. Or like I said, Gonzaga, you got to win the first 10 minutes of every period because of your lackluster bench right now. You don't have a lot of guys. And in WSU, you got to know that in your mind. Just, hey, punch them in the mouth the first couple minutes so they don't keep pushing. And then I promise you, no matter what, even if you're tired, you're going to be more energized in those last 5 minutes like we saw in the last 30 seconds where Cole Carlson was making all those nice little moves. It was super impressive stuff. They got multiple shot opportunities in that last, just the seconds ticking down and trickling down. If you're the Cougs, just keep on pressing. If you're the Zags, just find ways to keep the Cougs on their heels. You can't be predictable right now.
No doubt. And I mean, look at the Cougars. They've got 4 seniors on this team playing their final series. This is the final series until September, of course, and the next season starts. And obviously, like we mentioned before, kind of just a meaningless weekend. Get more games, get your skates on in March, and look at some competition. I know that the Cougars have been recruiting, and I think that's been going well for them. And their opportunity window is not closing at all.
No.
You're not losing too much depth this year, and you look into next year. Van Rayner will be back, and you look at that, you lose him and you lose Eastman, and that's it. I mean, this is a very young team that could do really great things. Cole Carlson will be back again the year after that. So this team has, I think, the build to do it. They have the blueprint. They just have to consistently learn how to play at their level that they know they can. They can play with any team. We saw it with UW, and we saw it with, various other top teams in this league. They could play with them. And this is a weekend where it's like, okay, we can end off on a high note. But right now, 1-1. Both goalies have looked solid. Both teams have had quite a few chances on each other. But the Cougars just have to be able to pull away this period, especially because they have more bench, a lot more bench. Double the players. You have to be able to just kind of run them out of gas.
Well, like you said, they have the building blocks for this future. So the Cougs, play some of your seniors right now. And, honestly, I think the most dramatic drop-off for next year is going to be the broadcaster booth as we're losing you, we're losing Natalie, we're losing Mallory. A lot of people on the outside of the rink that do so much work for this team, which is obviously shout out to you guys. That's where it's kind of surprising where you have a bigger drop-off in the broadcast booth than you do on the ice. Yeah. So very impressive stuff right there for the Cougs. And the building blocks are set. The young guys are set. Pretty impressive stuff for the future of these Cougs.
Yeah, for those of you who actually do like listening to me at home, that is tough. But I'd rather be losing more on the broadcast team than more on the team, and get these guys maybe a Pac-8 championship or a run at that. Second period underway, and here come the Cougars. Sam Hembry working it in, tried to glide on by, and that puck just kind of floats into the goaltender there, and he paddles it aside. Chen Yu-sun up the right wall, kind of a muffin pass ahead. Koshtin couldn't quite relay it to Bowers. He had him on a breakaway. Cole Carlson chipping this one back in. Canterbury after it. Carlson retrieves the puck, tries to make a couple dance moves by as it rattles up the near wall again. Carlson comes out with it, tried to get it to the slot. Rayner lost it, now the stick of Canterbury, and a 4-on-2 here for the Zags. They've got a big opportunity. Canterbury kind of drifts out wide, and a shot thrown right in to the pads of Cool. Sun now gliding the wall. Looks at options, tries to go cross ice, broken up by Jurgensen. Does he have the speed to get by? Jurgensen is shoved away, but he still grabs it. And a shot save made in the rebound, just too far away from the stick of Carlson. Loose puck comes out to the slot, and Canterbury will hold on.
Man, the old man was moving right there. The 6-year senior was moving, maybe using all the energy in the tank right there that he's got left right now. As this last series, you got to go all out if you're Luke Jurgensen.
Could be the final hockey games of his career. Got to leave it all out there. Lex Ballard spins away from trouble and nudges one ahead for Jurgensen. And off the skate of a Zag, and now Carlson will try and beat Cloutier to the puck. Not quite. And Gifford will go back to Cloutier. Just kind of it's a number of passes there behind the net as Bowers has an opportunity, maybe a 2-on-1. Bowers, he shoots, and a great save made by Cool. Got a piece of it. He had a man trailing. That was Oatman, but decided not to pass. Now it comes to Bowers again. Tries to dance to the slot, and he does successfully in a backhander that's fought off again by Cool. Wonderful moves from the forward. Bowers now fighting to maybe get this back to the point to Cloutier is the defenseman. But the Gonzaga Bulldogs maybe going to lose the puck here. Just kind of being kicked around aimlessly, and then this one will go all the way down off the stick of Ballard, and it will be an icing as the whistle has gone. 17:46 left in period 2, and we are still even.
Man, we're seeing a lot of change from the Bulldogs right now. A lot of okey dokes and a lot of making Cougars miss right now. Their stick handling work, and they must have been practicing this whole entire season long. They're making some immaculate plays, some stuff you see that's looking like Macklin Celebrini. Bowers is having a great performance right now.
Bowers was one of the big superstars. Miles Deneen as well, who is not in the lineup tonight, but also Kochton we did not see in the last series, but he has made a name for himself tonight for the Bulldogs. He has been all over the place. This is rattled around the end board. Bushkin tried to soccer that one further into the corner, and he does. Banked by Oatman in around the cage. Gifford relays it right back the other way. That one bounced off Oatman. Tried to kind of direct that one. It goes right to the stick of a Cougar, but he's able to get it back. Can't quite clear. Robinson holds it at the line. Fires one, and a great save made and pushed to the corner again. Lazaro relays it right back to Robinson. Maybe one more time. No, fires it down low for Zahoven, and a shot shrugged away by the right shoulder of the netminder. What a stop. Taylor used the boards, able to get it back, and here's a shot by Maurer. Never left the ice, and a save made the paddle, redirecting that in behind the cage, and the Bulldogs are going to exit the zone and get out of that. That was good opportunities from the Cougars, and just again, back and forth of them hemming each other into their own zones.
Well, the Cougars did a good job right there. It looked like it was a set-up play. They knew what the Gonzaga's defense was going to be, and they found the open shots and open spots right there. Just a couple great saves by the goaltender Hinch.
Still a clean penalty sheet, almost 25 minutes into this game, and that's just something that's so rare in the ACHA alone. Just a lot of penalty minutes and a lot of penalties. It's a league where there's not that much discipline. As here comes Canterbury, traces the circle. He floats one right in front looking for Chen Yu Sun, and that one just slapped out of the way by Lucas. Bang trying to take it away from Robinson. He will try and retrieve and loses the battle to Carlson, and Robinson looks at his options through center. Just fires it back into the neutral zone. Canterbury run off there by Rayner. Kochton tried to get that one through the neutral zone and could not. It's poked away by Jurgensen, who now kind of rushes right in, takes the puck away, feeds one across, Carlson in front. Oh, what a stop, my goodness. And the rebound rattles right into the glove of Hinch. He covers that one. What a stop. And he has looked so strong so far tonight.
Well, Luke Jurgensen on the forecheck has been amazing today. And I want to say, because it happened so fast, Cole Carlson wasn't truly prepared to be that wide open all by himself in front of the net of Charlie Hinch right there. And like you brought up, a very surprising stat is that no penalties this whole entire game.
Rayner will win the draw back to Carlson. Carlson, Keegan Lucas dumps it back in further as Bang tries to get that one away, and he does to Canterbury. Kept in at the line by Lucas again, and a shot just kind of aimlessly on net. Big save made. And the Cougars again back to hemming in the Bulldogs. Rayner retrieves the loose puck out in front, backdoor. You can't believe that doesn't go in. Luke Jurgensen had it at the back door with nothing but net. I'm not even sure how that stayed out. My goodness, what a stop.
I don't know if it was a save or what.
Carlson floats one in front again, and that one goes wide, and the Cougars just cannot buy a goal right now. They're so close to it, but they just can't cash in.
Well, Zach, we brought up the penalties. In situations like that, that's been about 3 times in less than 2 minutes where the Cougs have golden opportunities. A penalty is bound to happen. If Charlie Hinch is put in those situations, you've got to do something to keep the Cougs that far away from the net. That can't be happening.
And that could have been one of those Nathan McKinnon-style plays, a wide-open net, nothing but net to shoot at, and you miss. Or, again, we couldn't really see well from our vantage point. Maybe that was just one of the greatest saves ever from Charlie Hinch. Absolutely unbelievable. That is still a tie game. Keegan Lucas' shot paddled away on the rebound. Brandon Smith fires it back toward the net, and it goes wide through the crease. Lucas, one more time, tries to fire it back toward the net. Smith now again, right back to the stick of Lucas on the far wall. Brandon Smith trying to regain control, and he will on the far corner. Umale tries to dance around Bowers and cannot, and now you've got an opportunity for the Bulldogs. Got it to Oatman just off the blade of his stick. Had Costin with him in a 2-on-1 opportunity. Now Hembry vying for it in the corner. A couple of Cougs come out to help him. Up the near wall, the Zags just throw it toward the net, and Oatman can't quite get it, but Cool does for a stoppage of play at 13:54 still to go in period 2. And again, not a lot of scoring in this one. We've had chances, but, you know, going into this, I know we kind of talked about, hey, a lot of goal opportunities maybe in this game. And there's been opportunities, but they have only cashed in twice, once per side.
Well, an example right there is I believe the Cougs are getting so close. This could be a 5-1 hockey game if everything goes their way. But they're pushing for so much offense because they know they're so close that they almost gave up opportunities. It was basically a 3-on-1 for the Bulldogs once again, and that was the only goal of the game that happened for the Bulldogs was an opportunity like that. I understand you're almost there. You're pushing to get super close for that second goal, and if you score one goal, maybe the floodgates open. But you can't push too much as it leads to opportunities like that for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, and those are the mistakes they capitalize on.
Bushkin with a big hit on Powers and behind the play. So Hovinen had that one swatted away from him by Powers, and they will have to recover in their own zone. Ballard banked one ahead for Bushkin, tried to leave it off for Lazaro and can't. Now Sohovinen with a good forecheck here on Bang, trying to take it away, but Bang comes away with it. Fires that one around Oatman. Couldn't get it out. Back to Lex Ballard and a shot right into the trapper of Clinch. And again, 13:05 to go. Charlie Hinch. And we still tied at 1.
Well, Hinch, that was probably his easiest save of the period right there. He's already faced over 15 shots, I want to say. And one of the shots, or one of the saves could have been one of the greatest saves we've ever seen. We just can't give him the credit because we don't know what happened.
Lucas fans on an opportunity from the point off a face-off win. Battles with Powers and gets it at least in behind the goal line. Carlson trying to get away from Gillick, and he does. Leaves it off at the point for Mullen, who has the lone goal tonight for the Cougars. Probably not your number one pick as a goal scorer for this Cougar team, as he had 2 assists this season, and he was goalless. Able to get on the board this weekend. Cole Carlson dancing back to Mullen's spot at the point. Sends it over to his man, and now Carlson trying to dance around Gillick. Colin Keenan awaiting the puck at the point. Now retrieves it. Keenan a shot. Deflected on net save. Rebound. Rayner can't get to it. Carlson now jamming away. Oh my goodness, what a pad stop. The left leg comes out of Hinch, and he keeps it out. My goodness. Now this one's poked. A broken stick for Powers. That one shattered his stick off the shot from Keenan, and the Cougars will bring it back in. Mullen walks in a circle. Shot save. Rebound. Can't get it to go. Just more big defensive plays, and that one's Gifford. There's a lost glove there in front of the cage. I believe it belongs to a Zag. It was kind of shot back to the point. I kind of got lost there. I thought it was the puck for a moment, but that one ends up out of play. And 11:52 to go. Somehow all these chances, and we are still tied at 1.
So much chaos has happened, and finally it stops with the puck cleared into the netting right there. But Colin Keenan doing a good job of getting a couple opportunities. I thought we were going to get a signature Van Rayner trash man goal right there off the rebound, tips it home, and then Cole Carlson had a golden opportunity, and just a last-second slide to the right side of his net, left side of his net, my apologies. Hinch gets a bad save and keeps it a one-score game, or a 1-1 game.
Lucas again now waiting at the point as the Zags will break it back out. A bank pass ahead for Chen Yu-sun and a shot, and that one easily gloved by Alexi Kuhl, or at least he made it look as such. 11:36 now left to go, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Alexi Cool.
Hembry and Son having some words for each other right there. His son didn't like the little shove he got from Hembry. Hembry potentially just trying to get some more action in his last couple games of hockey right here.
Bowers lines up for the draw against Taylor, who's playing in really his first game of the semester. And now Kochton sent one to the front. Scores! My goodness! It's bar down, and it's 2-1 Gonzaga.
I mean, Zach, did you hear that? What a shot. That was a Mason Kochton. Man, bar down. You could hear the Cows are coming home with that shot right there as he rung the bell. You can't stop that if you're Lexi Cool.
That is a snipe from the slot. Never, as a goalie, do you want to face shots in the slot when they've got a lane. And even if he didn't have one, he made one for himself. That was straight crossbar and in. What a shot from Kochton. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs have, again, another one-goal lead. They had a 2-0 lead going back to first game of last series before the Cougs went on to outscore them and win that game 5-3 with a Cole Carlson hat trick. Maybe you need that again.
I mean, at this rate, but who would have guessed with how the Cougs are playing so far in this second period that they'd be losing or want to get the first goal of this period? Very surprising stuff, and that's what I'm saying. The Cougs keep pushing offensively, but the Zags aren't going to let it be easy.
Bowers the shot that winds up being held by Cool with 10:59 to go, and finally the tie broken. It is 2-1 Gonzaga. If you're just joining us, a recent goal from Mason Kochton, who went bar down from the slot. That red curling circle out there on the ice, he was about right there and made it happen.
Well, this is what we talked about with about 11 minutes left in the second period. So far, the Zags have won the first 10 minutes of the period like they should have with all the energy.
Here comes Bushkin up the wing and a shot, and that one tipped wide off a defensive stick in front. Oh! Lazaro sent one off the side of the cage. This one sent back to the point now again. Lex Ballard with a wrister, and that one blocked down by Gifford. Clicks it off the boards, and then Bushkin sends it below, back to the point. Maurer with a tip shot, and that one again into the corner, goes wide off the stick of Lazaro. Lifting that one out to center and calming it down now Maurer, looking maybe for an opportunity, but the Cougs will get a change, at least on the forward aspect.
We have seen multiple times, hands are up. Yeah, the offsides has to be called right there. But we've seen multiple times from the Cougs that defensemen are bringing it into the zone. School settles the puck down. Face-off's going to be on the near face-off circle with 10 minutes left in the second period. Zags up 2-1. But we have seen multiple times defensemen of the Cougs bring it into the zone, and that's what you're just kind of starting to wonder. Obviously, you're still practicing it for the WSU Cougars and Coach Lubinacci with the season being over. But I wonder if it's situational or if it's game plan at this point. They do have the Cougs are known for having very fast defenders and playmaking defenders.
Well, when talking to Coach Lubinacci before the season had started, way back in September, I asked him what he wanted the identity of this team to be, and he wanted everyone to be able to come up and make plays from any position. And I think we've seen that with what you're talking about. Hembry even comes up, not the fastest guy compared to Lex Ballard and Keegan Lucas, who are able to use their speed a little bit more like Cale McCarr. But Sam Hembry is still able to bring the puck into the zone, and he's able to use kind of the physicality and the expertise as far as he's been around this league for 3.5 years. So he's using experience as this one comes back to the point, bang with a shot, let it go, and that's off the high glass. Canterbury controls it in the corner, sent one out in front to nowhere, and now the Cougs maybe with a 3-on-2. Holtman trying to drop it off to King, who is trailing his left pocket. Sent all the way around. McKay not going to get there. Son, though, will, and he chips it ahead for Bowers, who's got a one-on-one opportunity with McKay trailing him. He left it across, and Kochton whiffs on the one-timer. McKay's stick got in the way. Bowers throwing it across. There's Cloutier, and a shot. Scores! 3-1 Gonzaga.
Well, Cloutier found himself all by himself in probably one of the most layup shots you're going to get in a hockey game. The Cougs are wondering whose man that was, as that was a perfect and golden chance for the Zags, and they strike once again. Every opportunity the Zags have a chance to strike, and they don't get a lot of these opportunities. The Cougs have shut them down most of the game, but the 3 mistakes they have made have almost all resulted in goals.
Gonzaga definitely not as many chances as the Cougars, at least in this period, but they're now outscoring them 2-0 in this period in a 3-1 hockey game. The Cougars just can't seem to beat Hinch despite a Reed Mullen goal from the point earlier on. This one off a couple of skates. It makes its way back to Gifford at the point. He will rifle this one all the way down below the goal line. It comes back out to the other side. Cole Carlson now lifting this one on. Tried to get it away, but caught down by Gifford, and he plays it to himself and then shrugs that one out as a kind of a collision there. It looked like between Lucas and Powers. Puck winds up right to them. Keegan Lucas can't clear it. Now just a fiery blind shot there from Gillick that goes nowhere. Walk back up by Hembry. Here he comes across the line. Kept onside by Carlson. Hembry tried to backhand pass that one to Carlson. Can't get it to go. Jurgensen backhands one to the corner in below. This one off the high glass. Did not quite catch the mesh, and we will play on. Gillick trying to escape that out, and he does to Gifford. Tried to be intercepted by Lucas. Can't quite get there. Now Powers of the race on for it with Hembry. Hembry steers that one away and in behind the net and will drift back up. And a pass way ahead. Gets to Lucas off of a stick. Here's Jurgensen. Sent it across, and Carlson's shot was blocked. Jurgensen now retrieves. Back to the point he goes. Lex Ballard, a shot blocked right at the source. Rayner trying to dance around Canterbury and can't. Then sends one across. Oh my goodness. Carlson fanned on it. Now just underneath Cloutier. And then it's batted away wide. Kochton crushed there along the near side wall. Now Ballard trying to battle Chen Yu Sun in a one-on-one opportunity if he can get it. But Ballard losing the puck now. Kochton avoiding collision with Lucas and then sent it in front. And Chen Yu Sun's stick was there. Maybe looking for a tip. Couldn't quite get it. Carlson gets the floating pass in. Nice little toe drag move by Bang, and a shot. He scores! Unbelievable goal. Carlson's gotten his team back in it.
Boy, he's been showing it off all night. His stick handle has been amazing. At the end of that first period, you thought he was going to have an amazing goal, and just right there, he snipes one. Man, oh man, 3-2 hockey game. Cole Carlson, Captain Canada. You said we might need a Cole Carlson hat trick. You're one step closer with that goal right there.
He is a third of the way there. Captain Coug, Cole Carlson, what a move. And he snipes it top shelf. And maybe it's a little bit more range goals that are going to beat Hinch. They can't seem to beat him from down low and more so in the crease. And you might have to take shots from further out. That was from the middle of the slot in an ideal place for Cole Carlson to be. And he had two defensemen on him, but he said it doesn't matter. As this one poked ahead for Bushkin. He is chased down by Kochton, who then falls down to the ice himself. Canterbury in the corner now. Bushkin trying to give chase. Canterbury able to escape that out for Kochton. Left it for Chen Yu Sun, calms it down, and then backhands one further on. Bushkin with a big hit on Chen Yu Sun. Still no arm raises in this one.
Yeah. 6 minutes left in the second period. 3-2 hockey game after the Cole Carlson goal. Inches them a little bit closer, but the Zags still so far winning this period.
Still in the lead. Here comes Keenan. Walks in, fires one. That's into the pad and stopped, it looks like, by Hinch. I'm not sure if he really knew or was for sure of where that puck was, but he made sure he made the save, and with 6:03 to go, a one-goal game still in the second.
We'll talk about it again. Another defenseman bringing it into the zone and starting the offensive sets. That can be dangerous for your own offense, but it can also be dangerous on your defensive end, as having a defender push up so far into the zone, whether behind the net of a goaltender or not, can lead to what we've seen, 3-on-1 or 2-on-1 breaks.
And Keenan joining that list of the defensemen we talked about. He's not usually one of the culprits that does that. But right there, gets a good shot on the net. Almost sees his first goal of the season.
I know he wants one, as tomorrow could potentially be his last game.
Jurgensen carries it across the line. Drifts it and leaves it off for Rayner. Rayner threw one in front, kind of off a stick, but grabbing that one and covering with 5:35 to go is Hinch. It looked like it kind of tipped off the defender's stick, but he's able to hold it off.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Zags, who didn't have probably season running home about, but he would honestly say it wasn't the greatest of all seasons, but they're looking really good right now.
They are pushing the Cougars to the brink. The Cougars responded just a couple minutes ago. It's Captain Coug there, Cole Carlson, able to make his name heard. 3-2 your score. Battle for it in the far corner. Rattle around to the near side wall for Powers. Tried to get it back to Gifford, and a little miscommunication there. Cole Carlson trying to take advantage, giving chase, but can't get there fast enough. Powers trying to dance through some good forechecking here from the Cougars, and Mullen unable to just keep it inside the line, and so the Cougars will kind of regroup here at the neutral zone. Van Rayner, nice dance move to get around. Cole Carlson, good stick work. He dances around, and a penalty coming up. It is a trip, and Cole Carlson draws the first one of the game, and the Cougars go to a much-needed power play.
Well, it has been a super long period for, I want to say, both teams, but the Zags, there's over 20 shots on Charlie Hinch's net so far this second period, and they're so far winning the period. A power play right here could totally change that. We could have a tie game. Is this the first one of the night? First special teams we're seeing for both teams, penalty kill and power play overall, so we'll see how that goes. But the Zags got to find a way to get the puck out of their zone.
And the power play for the Cougars, we all know, has not been great and not consistent. Sometimes it seems as though they play a little bit worse when they're on the power play, but in a team against Gonzaga, you might actually get it to work. Lex Ballard loses it. Kochton sends it down low. Shorthanded, scores! Bowers! It's 4-2, Gonzaga and a shorty.
Man, oh man. Zach, you might have announced or jinxed it right there. Oh man, what a great move right there. Bowers gets his second of the game. It's a 4-2 hockey game. Cougs still on the power play, so they have a chance to respond. But man, that breaks your back right there. That is a killer momentum shift right there. When you talked about they might be better at 5-on-5 than they are 5-on-4, and Alex Ballard turnover leads to a 2-on-1 break, and that's two 2-on-1 goals that have had ended up in the net of Alexi Cool.
And Lex Ballard again kind of giving that one away. Lazaro just kind of forcing his way on in. Lazaro is shot, and that's off the outside of the cage. Thought it might have been in for just a moment there. Lex Ballard now regaining control, sends it back to the point. Carlson, Cougars still on the power play. Minute 15 to go on the man advantage. Hembry tracing the circle. Sauces one across there for Ballard. Tried to go across. Loose puck is in front, and it's directed in. Keegan Lucas, a power play goal and a response, and it's a one-goal game again.
Well, another announcer jinxes they did respond off the goal, as that was only a 50-second power play, and we had 2 goals for both teams. Pretty rare stat. You don't see that a whole lot in hockey right there, but still, at the end of, I know you're happy you scored a power play goal. They don't do too great on the power play. You're still down 1 goal because of the power play. It's a weird misconception. I don't know.
Well, it seems as though everything we put out into the universe is becoming true. So, when that's the case, I'm going to say overtime. Hopefully, it'll come to fruition. 4-3, the Cougars right back in this one after giving up a shorthanded goal, and that is always just so frustrating to give up. But clearly not letting it affect them. This one tipped, and it will go all the way down. Gifford will grab the icing with 3:39 to go in period 2.
And then going back to that goal, it was just a situation, again, I think we're starting to beat or understand Charlie Hinch's kind of weaknesses, where it's having guys in front of the net. When when he can't see the puck, obviously it makes sense. 2020, it makes sense. But I completely understand of the point where he cannot see the puck when there's a whole bunch of guys in front of the net. And Keegan Lucas turned around immediately and just was able to get past his left leg right there and scoops it in. And Keegan Lucas, the defenseman, we talked about the defenders a lot this game for the Cougs, and we have 2 defender goals.
When you have a goalie that seems unbeatable, or even just a goalie that's on a hot streak, take away his vision. That's the one thing that you can do to at least help an opportunity arise, and that's what the Cougars did with Nolan Morenas. A huge hit on Gillick there. He went down to the ice pretty hard in a big collision with a Cougar. Lazaro streaking ahead, finding Bushkin. Does he have the lane to get in on in? And he can't. He's taken down by Gifford. A good poke play. No penalties seems to be coming from this, as Bushkin went hard into the cage with 3:07 left here in the second, and Bushkin palms up. Where's the penalty? But I don't think it will come.
Not sure how that's not a tripping. The intent wasn't to trip, and it was a good defensive play at first, but you got to understand the aftermath, the aftertaste, where you're still sliding into him and it tripped him. It led him following into the goal itself. Don't know how that's not a tripping call. That's prototypical tripping right there too.
Face-off won by the Zags, trying to get it out. That's Kochton, of course, able to make it happen. Sun drops it off, sent one in front, looking for the stick of Bowers one more time, as he did once before. Jurgensen will not beat out the icing. And a gasp from the crowd here, as Jurgensen for sure was the first man there, but the icing is still called with 2:49 to go, and really the first questionable one of the evening.
Well, that's about 2 calls in a row that can be a little questionable. Obviously, these refs aren't top tier by any standards or anything like that, but that is 2 pretty easy calls that go against the Cougs, who are losing in this game, and that could potentially be change this whole entire game plan. With 2 minutes and 49 seconds left in the second period, the Zags are up 4-3.
Here come the Zags, looking at options and sending it back. There's Canterbury with a shot and swallowed up by Cool right into the stomach of him with 2:38 to go in period 2. Still a 1-goal game here. It's been a lot of scoring. This was a 1-1 game coming into this period, and there has been 5 goals, 3 for the Zags, 2 for the Cougs, and a shorthanded goal is what separates us. Back to the point, it comes to Bang. Spins that one away, but not to the stick of a Zag, and instead it goes to Jurgensen. Rayner chips that one off the glass, kept onside by Cole Carlson. In he comes, dancing around. Carlson driving the cage, and one hand tucks that one off the back of the net. Rayner then sent one out front again. Now a 2-on-2 opportunity. Bowers leaves it for Kochton, and the speed of these two are killer. Kochton tracing the circle again. At the far corner, this bouncing puck comes to the back. It's banging a shot, can't really get one off. Kochton again retrieves it. Back, and there's Ballard making a great play to block that one with his leg. Bowers pushed off the puck there by Maurer. Gets it right back. Another loose puck. Comes back out to Bang at the point. Moves in closer to the slot there, and then is kind of being poked and pushed there by Ballard. Cougar man goes down to the ice as Ballard comes up with Carlson. Maybe a 2-on-2. Carlson has Maurer. Carlson takes this shot, and that one goes wide as well. Ballard now spun that one toward the net off the skate of Ballard, and then threw one in front again. Carlson scores! Tie game! He's got 2, and it's tied.
Well, again, just getting guys in front of the net, the confusion. Cole Carlson probably didn't know he had the puck right in front of him, because I know Shirley Hinch didn't, but the reaction time by Cole Carlson ties this game up. And again, everything we're saying might come to true. We are 66% away or to a Cole Carlson hat trick, and they needed that in a game where they were down 2 goals at one point. 4-4 hockey game with 1:30 left in the period.
Carlson now has 2. I mentioned earlier, would we get another hat trick from him? And he has 2. He is almost there, 1 goal away, and then a tie contest. 3 goals apiece from these teams to make it from 1-1 to 4-4 in less than 20 minutes of play. Now King at the top of the slot, and his shot kind of pushed to the corner off of Gonzaga's stick. Now a penalty coming up, and it's going to be against Matthew Taylor. It is a hook. Gifford draws it, and a power play coming for Gonzaga.
Well, he is known for being an aggressor, and just like a little bit too aggressive right there as they're feeling all the momentum, having 2 back-to-back goals that can tie this game up. But you can't be too aggressive if you're Matthew Taylor in that situation. And he is heading to the box. So now we're going to see a power play for the Zags this time. Could there be shorthanded goals for the Cougs? We'll never know. They almost seem to they play better on the PK than they do the power play so far in the season. We'll see how this power play goes, as we had 2 goals the last time there was a penalty.
The Cougar power play was both unproductive and effective at the same time. We'll see what the Zags bring to the table on their man advantage. Canterbury threw one in front, save. Rebound, puck is loose. Scrambling there was Cool to get it out. And Bushkin will air this one all the way down. 47 seconds to go in the period, and 1:42 now left on the power play for the Zags. They will have some carryover time unless, of course, they can cash in. Bowers streaking right up the ice. Now the right side from middle. Bowers leaves it back to the point. Chen Yu-sun poked away though by Bushkin, and then Chen Yu-sun is going to interfere with David Bushkin, and now a 4-on-4, only 36 seconds in to the man advantage for the Zags, not lasting a long time.
Well, it makes sense as you're starting to see both of these teams get a little bit more tired. The penalties are starting to come out and crawl out of the cave right now. 4-on-4 hockey. About 26 seconds left in this period. Let's see which team, as the Gonzaga Bulldogs have looked really fast tonight. Maybe open ice helps them a little bit more, but you can also see the same thing for the Cougs, as Cole Carlson's looking for an Hattie right now, and the defensemen of the Cougs are looking for their 3rd goal.
Carlson off the draw, top of the circle, and a shot right into the glove of Hinch with 23 flat to go in period 2. A 4-4 hockey game, and now it's 4-on-4. And we'll see who that favors here in this one tonight. It's been a pretty even game. Cougars probably have more of the scoring chances, but nonetheless, the Zags have really kind of kept up with that in their speed game with Bowers and Kochton, who have been incredible for this team tonight. and Chen Yu Sun as well, but he is the one in the box right now. 5 seconds to go here in the period. Canterbury with one final push. Walks in top of the circle. Fought off by Cool as the horn sounds here in the Palouse Ice Rink. And a 4-4 game is where we're at after 40 minutes. A lot of fours across the board at the moment. 57 seconds remaining on the initial minor penalty for a hook against Taylor. And then 1:34 left on the Chen Yu Sun interference. Nonetheless, a tie hockey game. 15 minutes. These two teams will go back to the drawing board, and they'll come back out for period 3. And what's something the Cougars need to do more of to win this game, Connor?
Well, they kind of just need to keep on playing how they played early on in that period. They didn't get any goals, but there was no goals the whole entire first 8 minutes. If the Cougs play like they did right there, they had about almost 15 shots in those 8 minutes, and they didn't allow almost any shots on Alexei Cool. And then they started breaking down, pushing a little bit two more. It became, instead of a 3-man offensive push, then you add a defenseman, and then it comes down the other way, and there's a 2-on-1, and it leads to Gonzaga scoring first, regardless of them being outshot 15-3 in those first 10 minutes. So it becomes a situation the Cougs are playing, and they have been the better team so far, at least throughout the first 2 periods. But Gonzaga's always there to capitalize on the mistakes. They're moving really fast. Some of the top guys are making some incredible plays, and Alexei Cool has to make some incredible stops. We've even seen Colin Keenan has saved a goal. It could be a 5-4 hockey game right now. But with all the shots, teams are getting more tired. Goalies are getting more tired. It was a 1-1 hockey game. Now it's a 4-4 hockey game. There were 6 goals in that period. And two teams that aren't really taking the defensive side as serious as you want it to be. We'll see how the offensive side is going to go later on in this third period.
And obviously that Chen Yu Sun penalty is probably because of the tiredness. I mean, you have those guys, the top line for them has been playing a lot tonight, and Chen Yu Sun, you know, that's probably a breakaway for a fresh David Bushkin.
Yes.
And he's just able to kind of, you know, say, hey, I'm gonna take this penalty, and that's not a bad penalty to take. You don't want to leave David Bushkin all alone on a break, especially not shorthanded. He takes the 4-on-4 penalty, and the Cougars, if they can kill, or after the 4-on-4, will have around 30 seconds of power play time, and we'll see where that gets them. But 14:20 left until these guys come back on the ice. And we will be back with you. I'm Zach McFarlane. You're watching KUGR, and I'm alongside Connor Simmons. And we'll be back. Don't go away. Third period and a tie contest. We'll be back shortly. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole calls it all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores!
Beautiful
What a snipe.
shot. Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand, dangles, shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
We'll try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman. He stops and starts. Puts a shot and goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman. 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rainer pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rainer as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rainer doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rainer again, makes a move. Rainer drives it towards the net. Agafladier, top right, bang! My, oh my, Van Rainer has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front of Kings Kelly. Nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Lazaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rainer. One-timer, Lazaro shoots and scores! My, oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, score! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson. Carlson dropping it off Lazaro. A little crisscross. Lazaro a shot. He scores! Max Lazaro, top shelf yet again. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole Carlson all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores!
Beautiful
what a snipe.
shot. Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand, dangles, shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
We'll try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman, stops in the sharks, puts it on, goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman, 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rainer pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rayner as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rayner doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rayner again, makes a move. Rayner drives it towards the net. Agafladier, top right, bang! My, oh my! Van Rayner has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front of Kinskelly. Nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Lazaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rayner. One-timer, Lazaro shoots and scores! My, oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, score! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson. Carlson dropping it off Lazaro. A little crisscross. Lazaro, a shot. He scores! Max Lazaro, top shelf yet again. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole Carlson all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores!
Beautiful
what a snipe.
Shot. Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand, dangles, shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
Hockey and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get them right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
Third period action is about to get underway, and a 6-goal period has the game ending up 4-4. And speaking of fours, we got 4-on-4 hockey underway, Zach, to start this third period. 57 seconds left on the Matthew Taylor penalty, and then new son, number 71, a minute and 34 left on his. With a minute 30 seconds till third period gets underway, Zach, crazy, almost total opposite, polar opposite periods we just saw from both of those teams right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the first period, a lot of chances right there, but they didn't cash in on too many of them. Obviously, only getting 2 goals that period. A lot of chances, and they cashed in on 6 of them. 3 apiece. We're here at 4-4. It's a brand new hockey game in the idea of how the goals are being scored and at what pace, but not exactly a different game at all when it comes to how close it is. Obviously, it's a tie game. Both these teams are playing so well and so well against each other. The Zags are keeping up, even though they have a very short bench. They're finding that next level that they can go to stay with this Cougar team. And the Cougars, they've been down twice at 2 goals, and they've come back both times. They're staying in it, and now they're tied. And we've seen goals on their netminder in 2 different ways. We've seen long-range shots, and we've seen kind of close download directions and deflections. They're just finding ways to put it by Hinch, and that's what you got to do. You just got to find ways to put the puck in the net, and we'll see if we get an overtime action here, or if the Cougars or the Zags can pull it out here in the third period and hang on. But you're right, we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for about just under a minute, and then the Cougars will get about a little over 30 seconds of a power play. And it sucks for the Zags because they had a good look in their first little 20, 30 seconds of their power play, had a good scoring chance, and then they take a penalty and go back to 4-on-4. And we'll see who that favors here at the beginning of this third period.
Well, it's a very weird game, and the captain, Cole Carlson, has 2 goals. You brought up, we need a hat trick to come back in this game. He is 1 away now. He had a hat trick last time they had a close game between the Gonzaga Bulldogs in Game 1 early on in the year. We also have 2 goals from 2 defensemen, and Reed Mullen, who doesn't get on the goal sheet too often, but then Keegan Lucas on the power play. A very weird power play we had there that they let up a shorthanded goal within 20 seconds, and about 30 seconds later, Keegan Lucas sneaks it right past the left leg of Charlie Hinch and makes it a 4-3 hockey game, as there was 2 goals in 50 seconds on a Cougar power play. Pretty weird game we have right here. It was a 1-1 game to end the first, now a 4-4 game to end the second. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, ladies and gentlemen at home, what to expect. It's going to be some good KUGR hockey. As I'm Connor Simmons, joined with Zach McFarlane with third period about to get underway.
Jurgensen, Carlson, Maurer, and Ballard out there for the Cougs against, of course, the top line for the Zags.
Very fast lineup for the Cougs. And then we have seen multiple times Bowers got 2 goals. It might be a race to get the first hat trick between him and Cole Carlson. Ethan Maurer. Lex Ballard gets his pass stolen away, as he has had 2. He has been on the culprit end of 2 Gonzaga 2-on-1 goals. Gonzaga keeping in the zone. Lex Ballard battling with him. Finally clears it out to a man at the point. Trickles down low to the man looking for his defenseman, Yang, on the cut, but a good job by Lex Ballard there to get it away from him. Ballard, again, going all over the ice right now in his own zone. They're finally able to get some more space as Ethan Maurer gets all the way to Luke Jurgensen, who kicks it into the Bulldog zone. Jurgensen looking for some help, tries to send it all the way to Cole Carlson, and he finally gets it. Now at the point, all by himself, Carlson making a guy miss. As we might have a breakaway, but Lex Ballard's able to get back just in time, as the pass was just a little out of reach of Bowers. But Bowers, he has been known for having some great stick work so far in this game. As they look to regroup, as Bowers is tired, making some subs. Smart play by him. Sent back in. Is it going to be icing? No, it is not. The power play is officially started for the Cougs. About 40 seconds underway. Smart play by Bowers right there as he cleared it back to waste some more time. 20 seconds left on the Sun power play. Carlson tries that send down low to Sahovnen, almost 5 holes. Hinch right there at the point. Lucas Robinson back down low to Keegan Lucas, looking for his second power play goal of the game. All the way around the boards to Cole Carlson. Power play is about to be over. Not a lot of action on 4-4 or the power play for the Cougs, as 5-on-5 is officially back. Carlson keeping it in the zone. No, he can't. Trickles away from his stick, and Lucas Robinson has to regroup. 18 minutes left in this third period. Still 4-4 hockey game. Kind of a lackluster start to this period so far, Zach. Definitely
a little slower than what we've seen. You know, we saw, although only 2 goals in that first period, and they weren't right away, we saw a lot of chances right away. But this time around, pretty slow start for both teams.
Lazaro tries to sneaky under a pad of Hinch. The rebound trickles all its way back out as Keegan Lucas almost sneaks it past the left side. Lucas Robinson now tries to get back down low, but Oatman's Got a good stick right there. Lazaro snipes one left, just over the left goalpost, the left side goalpost. Lucas Robinson down low. Once again, another rebound. Bushing gets leveled out right in front of the net, and they're calling a penalty. As Bushkin draws another penalty, and that's a skill at this point in the game right now, and that's a skill overall. Is that if you're a hockey player that draws some penalties, that's going to help your team out, Zach.
Absolutely, and they're going to get Gifford on the 96 on Gonzaga for a hit from behind, and that's going to give the Cougars a power play look. And again, like I said last time, it was both effective and ineffective. They let up a shorthanded goal, but then they scored just seconds later, so we'll see where this goes. It would be nice for the Cougars if, obviously, they just scored this time and didn't give up a shorty.
Lex Ballard on the ground once again as he gets it stolen away. As we might have another 2-on-1 with Lex Ballard hitting the ground all by himself, looking to try and get it. Keegan Lucas last second, slamming against the boards. It was Keegan Lucas slamming a Bulldog. He's going back and forth. Number 27 brings it up once again. Carlson makes a guy miss. Very good poke check last second. Ballard's able to get the rebound all the way over to Keegan Lucas.
Lucas is playing with a glove right now. One glove.
Oh, man. Keegan Lucas being a trooper right now. Lex Ballard at the point, shoots it right into his chest. Is that even legal, Zach?
You know, I think in the NHL it's definitely a penalty. It's an equipment malfunction penalty, but at this level it can be a little different. I'm not sure what the ruling is on that, but he left that glove behind, didn't want to go retrieve it, and instead he says, "Hey, I'm gonna play with one hand, one bare hand. I'm gonna do it." And he almost gets an assist right there. But a good defensive play by him to just break up that passing lane for long enough, buying some time for Cool to recognize what was going on and get some guys back as well in the back check.
We also got to talk about the play of Koshkin right back in front. Shots, hits the post. Rung the bell right there with Sam Hembry looking for a goal. Hembry skating across ice, now at center, now at the near face-off circle. Down low behind the net is Cole Carlson. Carlson all the way out to his man, the freshman defender, Lex Ballard. Tipped shot leads far away from the net right there. Hembry trying to get his man, looking to clear it, but Max Lazaro was able to get a stick and get to Cole Carlson. Good play by Max Lazaro right there. Back and forth, Keegan Lucas one-times it back to Cole Carlson behind the net once again. Lazaro with some time and space. Lex Ballard now trying to make a couple guys miss. He does. Almost settles it down. Carlson once again tips it out to the point, and it's tipped away into the benches. We can't go too far without this game. So far this PK is there's about, I want to say 37 seconds. I can't see too well right there, but Mason Kochton has made two amazing plays. He was on the receiving end of a 2-on-1. Him and Keegan Lucas slam against the boards. Caution gets up immediately and is able to cut off Cole Carlson and stop their break with a quick little poke check. He has been all over the ice so far for this game for the Bulldogs. All the way to Lucas Robinson, has an open shot opportunity. Kind of took it too long, maybe thought about it too much. Carlson now looking around at the point, looking for a man, tries to center all the way to Max Lazaro. Lazaro can't get enough, and it's going to be skated up by the Bulldogs. No, looking to go all the way, maybe to potentially get a shot up. Lex Ballard doesn't let that happen, though. Lex Ballard battles him off the puck. Good job right there, trying to get to his man Keegan Lucas. Two defensemen all the way to Cole Carlson. You're kind of starting to see this Cougs power play get a little tired. They've been out here for a while now. 4 seconds, and the power play is officially done. Some not so good opportunities right there for the Cougs on their own power play. 15 minutes, 30 seconds left. Still a 4-4 hockey game. Colin Keenan tries to get up to Cole Carlson right there. Lucas Robinson looking to clear it high. No, kept in the zone by the Bulldogs, though. Cougs looking tired right now. Been out here for about 2 minutes, some of these guys on a shift, and they're finally able to sub as Lexi Cool gets an easy glove save right there.
Alexi Cool with a good glove stop, and I mean, he hasn't faced too much in this third period other than maybe that 2-on-1, but again, even then, there really wasn't a shot on goal. It was just a broken up play, and we're now almost 5 minutes into the period. Goalless in the period, but it's a 4-4 tie, and these guys, both the teams can score. They know that, and we'll just see who gets the last goal, because that's really how it's turning out to be, is whoever gets the last goal wins here.
Gonzaga behind the net of Alexi Cool. Center out in front, get to his man, Claudia, almost tips it up. Kochkin with a good behind-the-back pass right there. Almost got to Bowers, Sun on a tip-in right there. Keeping it in the zone. Once again is Kochkin. All the way up to his man, Matthew Taylor, coming off the penalty that he gave the Bulldogs. He slammed. There's two guys on the wall. Matthew Taylor and him both go to the ground right now. It's 4-on-4 hockey as they don't know what's happening. Matthew Taylor finally gets back on side. Kochkin sends into the zone right past the stick of Reed Mullen right there. Smoley Sahoven, a senior of this group, gets it up to Colin Keenan and a fellow senior. Keenan battles against Sahoven and tries to get up to Matthew Taylor. Might have hit a ref skate right there, and the pass could have potentially gone through, and almost too many men on the ice was the call right there, but the refs do not call it. Ethan Maurer sends it around to David Bushkin. Here comes David Bushkin with some steam right down Broadway. Bushkin with Van Rayner behind him. Tries to get to him. No, David Bushkin sends it, and it is, didn't quite see what happened there, but the net is out of its range right now.
Yeah, Matthew Taylor and Canterbury kind of just getting a little tied up with one another, and they just kind of force their way into the crease, knock the net off its moorings. We'll have a stoppage of play. About just less than 6 minutes gone by here in this third period, and a different look than what we've seen so far. Less chances, less scoring opportunities, and, well, most definitely less goals. Nothing so far for these teams. Could, again, see overtime. That could also come to fruition. We're pretty good at calling things out tonight.
I mean, apparently, and you're the lucky man because you would get overtime and 6 goal calls. Man, that's all right. With Cole Carlson coming up once again at center ice. Gets it to his man, Van Rayner. Want to see more of him on the offensive side. So far been quiet this game. Lex Ballard now, center ice, going to try and clear it back in. No, takes his time. Sends it down to Luke Jurgensen. Jurgensen's shown some flashes of his speed. Shot into the chest of Hinch right there. 13 minutes, 46 seconds left in this third period. 4-4 hockey game. This first line for the Cougs has been pretty dominant. I want to say most of their time has been spent in the O-zone.
Absolutely. Jurgensen's been all over the ice. He uses the physicality to his advantage. Cole Carlson's got 2 goals. Lex Ballard has actually kind of been the struggling piece tonight on this line. He has kind of been, the source of 2 Gonzaga goals.
As Lex Ballard scores, as he might have just changed your mind right there, Zach. Might have just changed your mind as Lex Ballard gets on the score sheet, and that is 3 goals by defenders of the Cougs this game. The other 2 coming from Cole Carlson, as we have a 5-4 hockey game. 13 minutes and 41 seconds left in this third period.
And a good response to what I was just talking about. Lex Ballard stumbled his way and gave Gonzaga the first goal of the game, and then was, on a turnover, kind of got hit at center ice, gave them another odd man rush. They scored on that one as well, but he shuts all the critics up right there on a shot from the point of seeing eye and gives the Cougars their first lead of the game.
Jurgensen now on the fast re-push right now for the Cougs. Looks for his man, has Van Rayner all the way to Sam Hembry. Can he get to him? No. Clicked away. Here comes Bowers and Koshkin. These 2 guys have been on 3 goals on the ice together, so they are the money makers right now for the Bulldogs. Kicks it out all the way to Bowers. Bowers with a crazy stick handle so far this game. Van Rayner on his hip like a pistol. He gets it all the way to his man, Sun. Sun looking for a guy out in front. Where's the puck? Sam Hembry clears it away. All the way to number 96, though. Sends it right back down low to Sun. Sun tries to do a behind-the-back pass to Bowers. Bowers tripped up a little bit. Keeps puck possession for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs trying to respond, and it just goes under the stick of a Bulldog defender. Could have been a golden opportunity for it there as they were pushing, and the Cougs were getting a little bit tired right there, Zach.
Yeah, 12:50 to go. Bulldogs trying to respond. Can't count them out, obviously, but it is different. This is the first time they have been down in the game at all, so you almost wonder what changes with their approach when they're down. They've been either up the whole game or tied with the Cougars, so obviously maybe some different hockey here from them.
We'll see what the push looks like from the Bulldogs, or if there's no push at all, and the Cougs keep on dominating so far early in this third period. 12 minutes left. Sends it all the way to his man, Brendan Smith. Good saucer pass right there. He sends it down behind the net. Nico Umale couldn't get there in time. Trying to get it is Evan King now, keeping it in the zone. Nico kicks it to a man. Cleared all the way out to Nico. Oh, almost kicks it to himself, but Brendan Smith's able to get the rebound. Reed Mullen look for number 2 at the point. And gloved down by Charlie Hinch right there. 12 minutes and 6 seconds left in this third period. 5-4 hockey game after a Lex Ballard goal that happened about 2 minutes ago.
And we're still on for maybe a Cole Carlson hat trick. He is 1 goal away, and it could be the sealer like it was the last time. It was an empty net with no time left on the clock. We could see that here as well. You got to wonder if this game looks like this 10 minutes from now, if Gonzaga does pull their goaltender. It is a spring game, but you just got to wonder what that looks like and if they'll do it.
We will see, but there is still some time until then, about 9 minutes till you even think about pulling at your goalie at this stage of the game in a 5-4 hockey game. Pretty high-scoring game. Would not be surprised if there's a couple more goals until then. Behind the net is Max Lazaro. Swung all the way out to Lucas Robinson. Banks it back down to Max Lazaro. He baseball swings it down and gets it to Smoley Zahoven. And is that some skill we saw right there? Maybe he had a little baseball background. Max Lazaro, David Bushkin sends it back down. A trickling, weird little knuckleball puck Max Lazaro hits a guy on the boards. Does not get the puck right there, though. Bulldogs pushing up once again. Oatman, the big forward for this team, keeps puck possession right there with about 11 minutes left. Smuley Sahovinen behind the net of his own goaltender, Alexi Cool. He gets slammed against the boards. And they're able to try and keep it in the zone. Sahovinen backhands it out. A lot of dump hockey right now for the Cougs. Not looking to push probably as much after that goal. Wonder if it's safe play. Zach, what do you think?
It could be. The Cougars just could be trying to hang on. Not as much offensive push since they scored. And now maybe it's just a little bit of dump and change hockey, just trying to keep the puck out of their D zone.
Van Rayner looks to rip it into the chest of Charlie Hinch as there was a little scramble in front of the net right there. But as our colleague Kate always likes to say, you're never going to score if you hit the chest of the goalie right there, man.
Never, ever. You're never going to score that way. But Rayner in close and in tight. He had a chance there and just off the crest of the jersey from Hinch. And a good opportunity as he, again, last time around, 6 goals for him. But he is goalless tonight.
Kept off the score sheet is Van Rayner. Had a good opportunity right there. He is now on the far faceoff circle as they call Bulldog out and they send number 27, Mason Kochkin, back in. Faceoff won by Van Rayner. Colin Keenan rips it, maybe trying to get a tip. Gets to the net. Luke Jurgensen almost got the big tip. Another one out in front, and they score! And it's the man! Cole Carlson got his hat trick. Zach, you called it out, and we have 3 goals from Cole Carlson and then 3 goals from Coug defenders. What an overall great game for the Cougs right now.
Yeah, depth scoring as well as your guy getting on the sheet. A hat trick for Cole Carlson. He did it in night 1 in October. He does it in night 1 at the end of March of the new year. Absolutely incredible. He lights the lamp 3 times and maybe a 4th here.
Almost had a 4th opportunity. Could have been a good chance right there, but good stick by, I believe that was Bowers, looking to get it to his man, bringing a 6-4 hockey game. Rips one just wider right was Kochkin. Kochkin was moving, trying to get a response going. Kochkin behind the net, battles against Ethan Maurer, wins it, tries to get it Bowers out in front. The Sun now, but Lexi Cool last second saves it, but puck's still out and free. Sun does a spinorama, makes Van Rayner miss. Out in front once again, Kochkin tries to get it to go. Bang shoots it, saved by Alexi Cool. No call right there. Sun slams a guy. Stick is out on the ice, and it's clear. Can they clear the zone? Yes, they can. Luke Jurgensen's on the move now. A lot of crazy stuff just happened right there, Zach. But let's talk about that goal once again. Luke Jurgensen finds Cole Carlson on the cut. But here comes, once again, is the man Kochkin. Kochkin's been all over the place. Out in front, Bowers rips one. He's looking for his own hat trick. And is whistled down. A lot is happening. My, oh my.
It looked like maybe Keegan Lucas kind of kept that puck on the top of the net, perhaps. But what a chaotic scene there.
Yeah.
We went from kind of a slower period to now everything going on. Cougs under a lot of fire right there, not surrendering a goal, and they're up 2 thanks to Cole Carlson.
Well, that first line with Bowers, Sun, and Kochkin has been all over the place, resulting in 3 of the goals already. The Cougs are up by 2 goals late here in the third, about 9 minutes left and 30 seconds in the third period. They're up 6-4, bringing it all by himself. Evan King tries to go 5-0. Another shot by Nick O. And into the chest of Hinch as he slows the puck down. And we have a stoppage in play. But with 9 minutes left in this third period, a 2-goal game, especially how these teams are kind of having their offensive pushes just randomly in spurts of 45 seconds, multiple shots getting on the net. I wouldn't be surprised if the Zags still find a way to push back and tie this game up.
No doubt. They have not given up at all. They have been pushing more even, if you will. They're down 2 goals, but it seems as though they're playing like they're down 5, and they are in a lot of urgency here. That's what they're showing so far.
And offsides is the call, so the faceoff will be probably on the near faceoff circle right outside the blue line of Cougs' zone. 9 minutes and 2 seconds exactly left in this third period. Cole Carlson gets a hat trick and gets the 6th goal of the game for the Cougs, and they are up by 2 now. Huge potential game changer. You could have said, you couldn't have called it any better, Zach, because that could have been the good night goal as this puck is cleared into the stands, a short roof here in Moscow, Idaho. But that could have been the good night call by Cole Carlson, and it's his hat trick goal.
Absolutely, and it could be the sealer. I mentioned about maybe an empty net, but that could be essentially replacement of the empty net. And Gonzaga may not pull their goalie now if it looks this way again 7 minutes from now, but we will see. 8:55, still a good amount of time left here for the Gonzaga to possibly start a comeback effort.
Smulica Hoven sends about 2 guys to the ground. He's on his knees now. Cleared up to the man Oatman. Oatman tangles up Keegan Lucas, and a puck is trickled away. Keegan Lucas might have had a broken skate as he's laying on the puck right now. Keegan Lucas finally gets up after he takes a couple of tumbles, finally gets it all the way to David Bushkin somehow. Bushkin looking for a man. He takes a tumble. The ice might be choppy right now. We're seeing a lot of guys hit the floor right now, Zach.
The Zamboni may not have done as good a job as it wanted to.
And sends one back, tries to go 5 on Alexi Cool, sees it very well. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third period. David Bushkin sends around the boards to Max Lazaro, but keeping it in the zone is Bowers. He's done that quite a lot now. And we have a little push now coming. Max Lazaro has a fast wrist shot. Let's see if he can make a move. No, good poke check by the Bulldog defender right there. And Oman sends around the boards, but David Bushkin's keeping it in the zone now. Bushkin still battling, going back and forth. Tries to go high and over the left shoulder of Hinch right there. Reed Mullen going back and forth with a man. Stolen once away. Tries to get it to his man. Can he get it to Kochkin? Off the boards. Great bake pass. A little Tim Duncan action. Kochkin rips one off the mask of Alexi Cool. Kochkin still battling with a bouncing puck now against Luke Robinson. Bowers comes in for backup. Bowers tries to send all the way to Sun. Almost gets there, but a little weak pass. Doesn't quite connect right there. Luke Jurgensen gets pocketed by Bowers. Tries to get it all the way to Lexi Cool. Lexi Cool tries to clear it. Bowers keeping it in the zone. Sunner rips one on net. Far wide right. This first line of the Zags team has been dominant.
And the whistle goes here. And I wasn't sure at first, but they are fixing Alexi Cool's net. So it looks like the net came off and got dislodged a little bit there again. But of course, Bulldogs are still pushing. 7:19 to go. It's going to be this line that's going to do it. Bowers, Kochton, and Sun have just been absolutely incredible tonight. They've been everywhere, and they are pretty much responsible for all their goals.
Luke Jurgensen going to probably try and get it to his man, but no. Kochkin on the forecheck right there. They have to regroup, but once again, these top 3 forwards for this team has been really, really good for the Zags. Something to build off of going into next year for sure. Van Rayner sends it down low to Cole Carlson all the way across. Could have had a man. We might have a 2-on-1 break. Here comes Sun. He has Bowers on his right. Van Rayner's able to get back. Sunner rips one. Good save. We might have a 2-on-2 going the other way. No, Yang's able to clear it. Back in. It shouldn't be. Oh, icing will be the call. It was not tipped. But you got to respect the hustle right there by Van Rayner, who's a forward and a senior captain on this team. Coming back for a 5th year, though, as we heard from the grapevine, and he has told us multiple times. But he got back to stop that 2-on-1 break that's already led to. On 2-on-1 breaks, the Zags, I want to say, are 2 for 2. So he stops that whole play from happening.
No doubt. And, I mean, back checks are huge and super important to be able to break up plays and just help your defensemen out when they get caught. And right there, Van Rayner makes happen, disrupts any easy passing play there.
Might be icing, but Kochkin beats it out. Kochkin tries to send it out to Bowers. What a pass and what a goal! 6-5 hockey game. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in this third period. We said the first line would do it, and they're doing it right now. What a behind-the-back pass and a perfect setup for Bowers, who knew he has a hat trick now.
Dueling captains, dueling hat tricks, 6-5. Gonzaga's right back in it. The net is off its moorings down from Alexi Cool, and I don't think the officials know that, and he's just kind of going to go back and forth here, even though the net is definitely not on where it should be. But that is incredible from the Bulldogs, and they could easily, very, very much so, tie this game. They have been showing nothing but strong effort.
When a 6-5 hockey game, there's some pushing and shoving, some fights are starting to break out. Yeah! The crowd loves to see this. And then going down to Alexi Cool's side, where we talked about his net being off the moorings right now. With the refs not noticing, I wonder if it's the rule like it is in the NHL, but a lot of rules don't transfer over from the NHL down to here. But if a goal does go in on Alexi Cool with the moorings off, it doesn't count as a goal. So obviously I don't know the rules too much about that here in Division II hockey, but that we saw this play happen with Tristan Jarry in the Golden Knights as he let the goal kind of stay off its moorings. So if a goal does go in, it's the ref's fault and not his fault, and it just would not count And then speaking as a lot of scruffle and a little fight broke out, we have number 97 of the Bulldogs going in, and the Cougs are hopping on the power play right now.
Yeah, Caden Cloutier is going to go to the box, and it's going to be a big opportunity for the Cougars to maybe put this game away, but also they have a shorthanded goal tonight. This could be a tie game as well.
With 6 minutes about left in this third period, that goal by Bowers, his hat trick goal, makes it a 6-5 game and only a 1-goal game. Cougs on the power play now. Lazaro at the point, going back and forth with his man, Cole Carlson. Carlson sends it out to Lex Ballard. Ballard sends it down low. Almost got a tip right there. Keegan Lucas scored on the power play already tonight. Saucers a pass out to Max Lazaro. Keeps it in the zone. Back down low. Lex Ballard and Keegan Lucas, 2 young defensemen on the power play. Don't see that too much. Lex Ballard gets it stolen away from him, and it's cleared away. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the power play. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in this third period. 1-goal game.
And Alexi Coach took it upon himself to fix the net himself. He realized that the referees that were going to go for a face-off in the other zone probably weren't going to be able to fix it, so he just did it himself.
Almost a great play right there. Keegan Lucas saucer almost to a big tipper Max Lazaro moment. Lazaro now all by himself with time to Cole Carlson. Maybe to look to get out in front. Makes a couple guys miss, and it's cleared away. Good save right there by Charlie Hench. Staying in that butterfly mode. 45 seconds left in the Cloutier penalty. Bringing it up is going to be Lex Ballard. See if they have one more push in them. Max Lazaro. Lex Ballard, the fast defenseman. He looks to bring it up. We talked about defensemen bringing it into the zone multiple times today, and a defenseman's going to bring it in for the power plays. Ballard kicks it out to his man, Keegan Lucas. Right back down low to Ballard. Ballard looking to go out in front. He takes a tumble once again. A lot of guys just hitting the ice right now, Zach. A lot of guys falling and stumbling and jumbling here in this third period. Tries to get it to a man on the cut. Keegan Lucas going to go back in. Ballard, he shoots. And what a save! Charlie Hinch robs Lex Ballard of his second goal of the game and keeps the Bulldogs in it.
What a stop from Charlie Hinch. Unbelievable glove save. And yeah, he's going to get some taps from his players there with big smiles. That is an unreal stop. And that keeps the Zags in this game. That could have been an easy dagger, but not quite. And only 11 seconds left in this power play. And then the Bulldogs can go to work on even strength.
Well, Lex Ballard could not believe it. David Bushkin tied up on his own behind the net of Charlie Hinch. Bulldogs pushing up once again. The power play is officially over, 5-on-5, but we have a man going 1-on-5 right now for the Bulldogs. Slammed against the boards right there. 2 guys hit the ice right there. Trying to stop towards his man. David Bushkin gets a little push. Can he get to his forehand? Yes, he can. Shoots. Another save right there as it looks like a defender. Another tumble right there. A lot of guys in nice. David Bushkin almost gets a sneaky goal right there. It's not even Charlie Hinch was expecting that one. Another guy hits the nice for the Cougs. And here comes a little push. Sun with Oatman. Sun rips shot. I believe hit the skate of Oatman right there. Back in front, Oatman on the rebound, trying to get it to go. Cool, almost out of positioning right there, and the netting is out of place once again, and the refs do see this one. 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in this third period. 6-5 hockey game. We're back to 5-on-5 play.
Absolutely, and Gonzaga is going to call their timeout right now. They're going to use it a little early for my liking, but they see a time right here where they just killed off a penalty, and they're going to try and go to work here, and we'll wonder again when exactly they're going to pull Charlie Hinch. With 3:44 left, you're right. The net just keeps coming off on this side over here. But again, this is where things get interesting. The Bulldogs could absolutely, I could see them tying this game and sending it to overtime. It has just been that kind of game. The Cougars just need to keep playing their game, and you can't be scared to score again here. You can't be scared. You have to keep your foot on the gas, and that is what's going to win them this game, is if they do that. And instead of playing defensively like we saw with Team USA and Team Canada, Team USA scored 1 goal and then thought that was going to be enough. And they got dominated for pretty much the rest of the game. You can't do that. You can't play defensively and on your heels for most of the game. Got to keep going. So that's what they got to do with just under 4 minutes left.
Well, I bet you the thought process in this timeout for the Bulldogs is to talk about maybe time management of when they're going to pull the goalie, but also give that first line that has been really dominant this whole game between Bowers, you got Koshkin, and then Sun. They had the 5th goal of this game. That has been really dominant this whole period. Give them some more time to rest. And the Cougs, after that penalty and it was back to 5-on-5, they were a little flustered. So maybe that's a good timeout that helps both teams. We'll see how it plays out. As like I said, 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in this third period. The Bulldogs down by 1 goal late here in the third period, looking to make a last-second push. We'll see how it goes here on KOGR Hockey. Face-off, tied up, won by the Bulldogs. Trying to clear out in front of the net, and the net is off the Mornings once again. Someone's got to fix this at this point.
I don't know if they need to re-drill the holes or what is going on there, but it just does not want to stay on its moorings at all. And even just the slightest bump of the net will knock it off. But that one almost just seems to be just going on its own. It's got a mind of its own or something. Doesn't want to stay right next to the blue paint. And 3:39 to go. Face off to the left of Alexi Cool.
As they're looking to fix it up right now, they got a new I believe, was that stick to keep it in the ground right there? I believe that is. They changed the face-off to the near face-off circle, right side zone in Cougar zone. Bowers on the face-off going against Van Rayner. It's won by Bowers. All the way to the point. Looks to rip one on net. Doesn't get there. Good stick right there, Luke Jurgensen, and a good job right there of him getting in front of the net. As they is the empty net. With 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, that was what the timeout was for. There's 6 forwards out for the Bulldogs. Or 6 players out, I should say instead. Empty net. Could put it to rest. Out in front, Alexi Cool. Doesn't quite get it right there. Reed Mullen looking to clear it. Keeping it in the zone is Gifford. All the way out to his man, Cole Carlson, maybe looking for his 4th goal. Icing should be the call, and it is smart play right there by Mason Kochkin, who just IQ's through the roof for him. What a stud player we have on the Bulldogs.
Just can't quite connect with Cole Carlson, who could have had 4 right there in another game-sealing empty net against this team in blue. But now the Bulldogs, with a tired Cougar line, have the opportunity to tie the game.
Face-off won by Bowers once again. Again, still an empty net. 6 players out for the Bulldogs. They have to push, looking for that last-second goal to potentially tie it. They got possession, going back and forth, almost a power play for them. At the point, gets to his man Koshkin. Koshkin rips one high and wide. Cole Carlson all by himself, might have a little break. Looks to clear, he sauces it all the way down. It's going to be ice, and unless Luke Jurgensen can beat it out. And another early icing call against Luke Jurgensen. Doesn't quite like it, but time is ticking. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in this third period. 6-5 hockey game. Empty net for the Bulldogs. No goalie in the net. Face-off. Bowers is 2 for 2 against Rayner right now. Can he make it 3 for 3? Yes, he can. Koshkin going all by himself. Can he get it to go? Nothing is found. Almost a rebound play by Bowers right there. Going back and forth once again. Sun over the stick of him. Colin Keenan slams Koshkin against the boards. Colin Keenan with a good tip. All the way out to the defenseman of the Bulldogs at the point. Gifford now. Gifford high. Doesn't hit anything, so no whistle is going to call it dead yet. Sun looking for a man. Koshkin all the way around the boards. Is it going to be Gifford who keeps it in the zone? Yes, he is. Good play right there by Gifford. Gifford makes a couple guys miss. Cole Carlson trying to get it out of the zone. Van Rayner finally gets it to Cole Carlson once again. Not with puck possession, but clears the zone, and the Bulldogs have to regroup with about 2 minutes left. Almost a mistake. Matthew Taylor has it, and he overshoots it. He had it online in perfect accuracy, but just too much on it. Again, Cole Carlson looking for the 4th, and he gets it. My, oh my, Cole Carlson with his 4th goal of the game, and that might have called it right there. Never say never, still 2 minutes left, but we might have another Cole Carlson empty net dagger.
Cole Carlson, what an animal. After Matthew Taylor shoots it over the crossbar on a wide open net, Cole Carlson is able to pick up the loose trash in a mad scramble there in the slot, and he puts the dagger home once again against the Bulldogs.
Well, the game is not over. There still is 2 minutes left, and you can get 2 goals pretty easily here in the ACHA. Oatman gets it tipped away. Do you think the Bulldogs go for an empty net once again, being down 2 goals?
I personally would, but I don't think the Bulldogs are going to pull them. I think this is kind of accepting fate here first night.
Here comes Cougs still pushing up. Max Lazaro rips one on net. Almost a rebound by David Bushkin. Lazaro almost got his own rebound just as well. Ballard has a goal in this game and got robbed of his 2nd goal of the game. That would have been the 7th goal of this game. Max Ballard keeping it on the zone at the blue line. Going back and forth. Almost tipped away. We might have a little break right here. Nobody's catered off the puck by Matthew Taylor, who could have had a goal in this game, but he overshoots it. Something we'll think about later tonight. Ethan Maurer bringing it up. Another defenseman bringing it into the zone. Something we might see early on or later on next year into the near future, Zach.
Absolutely.
Taylor brings it up and in, clears it away, makes some subs. The seconds are officially ticking in this game. 7-5 game. What has been an amazing game, a very fast game at that. 50 seconds left. Just dribbling in their own zone is the Bulldogs. Luke Jurgensen, who's been immaculate on the forecheck all day, right there on their hip. Looking to get one more push. Here comes the man, Mason Kochkin, who's been all over the place. Kochkin sends it out in front once again. Keeping it in the zone. Good job right there by the Bulldogs. Looking to get last one on his backhand. Tries to get to a man's forehand. Cole Carlson. Are we going to have number 5 potentially? He's pushing up. He wants 5. Makes one guy miss. Makes another. No. Can't get the second guy quite in time. Bowers sends it all the way down to Sun. Offsides will be the call. Alexi Kuhl settles the puck down, and that should be the game as they have to regroup. 10 seconds left in this third period, and the Cougs let the puck trickle away. And what will be a 7-5 win for the WSU Cougars on a Friday night KUGR hockey night. Zach, what a game we were able to call here tonight. And the next game will be senior night for the Big Four. Colin Keenan, Sam Hembry, Luke Jurgensen, and Samuli Sahovanen.
And what an incredible game. You and I both called 6 goals apiece.
Yes.
You got 2 in the first period. I got 6 in the second, and then 4 more here in this third period. And the Cougars on the better end of this one. 3-0 on the whole season against Gonzaga. Look to complete a perfect sweep, of course. Let's see if they can do that tomorrow night. But the Cougars do get the job done in night 1, obviously closer than expected. But now that they kind of have their bearings a little bit, we could see them come out and score 10 more tomorrow against this team and only let up 2. So this could be the close game of the series, and tomorrow the Cougars could really come out and put some numbers on the board and dominate. But again, we will see. Hinch was pretty incredible for this Bulldogs team. He was awesome for them, keeping them in it many, many times, including a robbery save on Lex Ballard.
Well, history says that the first night for the WSU Cougars is always the closest game of the series, and the second night turns into pure domination, whether it's against the Cougs or for the Cougs. You never really know. But a good, solid game today in the 7-5 game. But something we do got to bring up is the Bulldogs looking pretty strong. Their first front line was dominating and hitting on all cylinders. And I want to say, out of the 5 goals, that first line that equaled 4 of them. So just overall great game for them. And then obviously you have to say a good job to the defensemen in Keegan Lucas, Lex Ballard, and Reed Mullen. They got 3 goals. And then Keegan Lucas, 4 goals by defenseman right there. And then Cole Carlson got 4 goals. My apologies. 3 by the defenseman and then 4 Cole Carlson goals. And of course another empty net dagger as he puts it in game 1 once again. Zach, what are we expecting for tomorrow night?
Honestly, knowing this team and just knowing how the series went last time, I think it's an exact mirror. I think it's close first game, and then I think the Cougars come out tomorrow. Senior night, they got a lot on the line. You want to end on a high note, and I think they do. They have the ability to dominate this team, and I think that they will, unless Charlie Hinch comes out again and has an incredible performance to keep his team in the game, and they just maybe get a few more bounces their way. I do think this will be a pretty dominant game tomorrow, though, from the Cougs, if I have to say.
Well, he made a couple of robberies today on the other end of the ice. Alexi Kuhl had a stud performance right there as they win 7-5. WSU will be right back here tomorrow night for senior night at that, and that could be the last game of some potential really good hockey players. Thank you guys so much for watching KUGR Hockey. I'm Connor Simmons, joining the booth with my brother from another mother, Zach McFarlane. We'll catch you guys later and see you guys hopefully tomorrow night for KUGR Hockey once again.